day. Because when you make it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Nick DeLuca, closing in on the Major League Baseball trade deadline. The Red Sox making a splash, agreeing to a deal with the Orioles for catcher Adley Rutschman, three-time All-Star, hitting .251 with 8 homers and 47 RBIs this season, currently on the IL with a wrist injury. Orioles receiving 3 of the Red Sox top 10 prospects in return. The Giants selling some key pieces, sending 3-time batting champ and 4-time All-Star Luis Arraez to the Phillies in a 4-player trade. Arraez hitting .324, best mark in the National League this year. Philly planning to move Bryce Harper back to right field to make room for Arraez on the infield. The Padres acquired lefty Robbie Ray from the Giants. Ray has been one of the best pitchers in baseball since June, has a .308 ERA. This season, the Pirates upgrading their pen, dealing for Mets reliever Luke Weaver, heads to Pittsburgh after posting a .184 ERA over 42 appearances for New York. The Brewers bringing in a starter, acquiring Dustin May in a deal with the division rival Cardinals.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen. Coming up Tuesday, the 49ers are dealing with another season-ending injury. I'll tell you if losing another wide receiver will impact Brock Purdy this season. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
That's right!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt!
Shut up, kid. Cassie Spazelli.
Look what you made me do. Look what you made me do.
Yuso.
I'm a Barbie girl in the Barbie world.
And Mr. Vincent Vega. Toby Tomplin.
So.
All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. God, what a jam-packed weekend this was, and we got all of it to talk about over the next 3 hours. Let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
It's one of those days where you just don't know where to start. With LSU football players taking a trip to Dallas, Jalen Polk retiring, Logan Schmidt deciding he's coming to campus. We got Saints camp. We'll probably get so much. So let's just start at the beginning and go back to what happened Friday. Actually, what happened Thursday. Well, Friday night, I think, is when the world learned that a group of LSU football players hopped on a PJ and went to Dallas. They went to the Throw It Deep Academy over there. And we learned that because some of those guys started posting on social media. Many of you probably noticed as well, on the photo of the flight, right? The guys in front of the plane, on the ground was a mat. Like, you know, the door folds down into the stairs, and you come down the stairs, and there's like a rug right there, a mat. And it says G Air. Like the big Gordon logo, G. I'm like, well, I recognize that logo. So I made a few phone calls. Sure enough, 7 of the 9 players that went on that trip are G-Team members. They're Gordon NIL partners. The 2 that were not are tight end Malachi Thomas and Malik Elzy, the receiver transfer from Illinois. Those 2 were not. The other 7, it was Landon Clark, of course, obviously Sam Levitt, Landon Clark, Trey Green, Jace Brown, Winnie Watkins, Trey Wilson, and Jackson Harris. Those are the others that went. So 9 players went. I loved this. I loved that they went and did this because one of my real big questions about, really my single biggest question about this LSU football team is Sam Levitt. And it's not that I question Sam Levitt. It's I question, is Sam Levitt ready to go because of the time he missed? Coming off a Liz Frank injury, not having spring. So the very real question of missing all of those reps, like can you develop timing and synergy and leadership and all of that sort of stuff? And when you play sort of like ear to ground around the program, I think there's some people who internally who have those questions as well. Again, not about what Sam Levitt's ceiling is. We've seen what Sam Levitt's ceiling is. I mean, as a second-year college football player in his first year in Arizona State, he led them to the college football playoff. And he did so in an offense where he didn't have to do everything because Cam Skattebo ran for 1,700 yards that season. So we know what it can look like. It's just coming off of Liz Frank, not having spring. How do you make up time? Remember Lane Kiffin said when we were at SEC Media Days that the reason they didn't bring Levitt was because he was leading the player-led workouts. Now, I do not think that's why they didn't bring Levitt to Media Days. I do believe, however, he's been leading the player-led workouts. That's very important. But then also, I was told this trip was to get some extra work in right before camp, but also to have like a team bonding opportunity. I also think it is significant who went. The fact that in an offense where everybody's new, you lost all of your scholarship quarterbacks from last year and you returned one receiver. And we looked at spring and we're like, okay, who's emerging? You brought in 9 transfer receivers. The only receiver returning was Phillip Wright. But you're bringing all of this new. Well, who's emerging? Well, as I look back through my notes from spring, some guys consistently stood out. Like Jace Brown was the highest ranked guy they added via the portal. Jackson Harris was the first receiver. The first player they added via the portal when he came in from Hawaii. Very clear. We talked about him last week. Remember, he's on the PFF list. He's the top graded receiver from PFF a year ago to play in the SEC this season. So you can sort of see Lane Kiffin piecing those things together. Trey Wilson, former 5-star, coming in from Florida. He is very twitchy. Like, he just has a different gear than everybody else. I don't think Malik Elzy coming in from Illinois was anyone we thought would pop, but he just kept showing up in spring. Like, it was just very obvious. Early in camp, he was on the other field with the 2s and the 3s, and as spring went along, he started to run in that 11-11 drill with the 1s and getting more reps there because he's a big-bodied dude who would go over the middle and make contested catches. It gave you a different look stylistically from the other receivers because he's a big-bodied guy. And then, of course, there's Winnie Watkins, where basically every receiver in this offense was just swimming in spring trying to figure out the offense. Winnie Watkins looked like he was just hanging out on one of those little lounge decks in the pool because he knows everything. It was like every time they had it's 3rd and 4. What do they do? Winnie Watkins, 5-yard out, complete, move the chains. It was just, he was always in the right place. He knew where to be because he knows the offense and how to function within it. So I didn't think it was a surprise, but I did think it was telling that those were the guys that went on this trip. And I think that's a great thing because you can start to recognize, I think one of the most important things about spring is this is just an opinion. Talking to a lot of guys over the years, even asked Whit Weeks at Media Days, like, do you need spring? He's like, not really. But one of the things that I think over the years of talking to these guys and watching that's most valuable about spring is spring sets the pole position for fall camp. Like, whenever you're going to have position battles, spring kind of allows you to know where you're starting from in fall so you're not starting from zero. And so I think it's fair to look at what you learned over those 15 spring practices to go, okay, this is how it's going to start in fall. Now, back to the point about Levitt, it's interesting because on the first draft podcast today, this was Kuiper and Field Yates, they started talking about Sam Levitt. One of the questions was about Levitt. And I thought it was so interesting because this is the perspective of a draft analyst thinking about Levitt. So remember the context. This is Field Yates talking about Levitt as a draft prospect. So keep that in mind as you hear this.
The stock is down right now here, Mel. You got to dig deeper here on a guy like Sam Levitt, who 2 years ago was electric. He was outstanding. Again, go to that, what I just talked about with the comps. I'm not looking for low percentile outcomes. I'm looking for high percentile outcomes. There was some Bo Nix to him. He can really make something out of nothing. He can throw from all different platforms. He's a very good functional athlete as well. I'll say this here, Mel. It's going to be a projection still because the offense is not very much like an NFL offense. But Sam Levin's going to put up some serious video game numbers this year at LSU. His size is just okay. He's a good athlete. So maybe there's still going to be some questions he has to answer. But I think Sam Levitt is due for a huge bounce back year.
So I love that because he's saying, the size is just okay. He's a good athlete. All the other stuff. It's a projection coming off but he's talking about the draft. I don't care about the draft. Like, draft will come whenever. What I care about is Sam Levitt being awesome at LSU. And Field Yates said he is going to put up video game numbers. Compared him actually to Bo Nix. And remember, Bo Nix had some good and bad at Auburn, goes to Oregon, and ends up being a Heisman Trophy finalist alongside Jaden Daniels. So you tell me that's what you're getting? I love it. And the other thing, too, specifically with Levitt in this offense, look at how first-year quarterbacks in Lane Kiffin's offense have fared. Let's look at his last 3 stops. Bama, FAU, Ole Miss. Lane's first year at Bama was 2014 as the OC. He goes into Bama in 2014 as the OC. He's got Blake Sims, who is a converted quarterback, by the way. Sims throws for 3,487 yards, 28 touchdowns, 10 picks. He runs for 350 and another 7 touchdowns. Again, Blake Sims, a converted quarterback, first year in Kiffin's offense, throws for 3,528 tuds. 2017, first year at FAU, he inherits Jason Driscoll. Driscoll throws for 2,200 yards, not a eye-popping number. They won 11 games, by the way. Throws for 2,200, 15 touchdowns, just 4 picks. But also Driscoll ran for 427 and 8 touchdowns. But that was the season where Devin Singletary went off. Their running back had 1,920 yards and 32 touchdowns. So you had a quarterback throw for 2,200 yards and 15 scores, run for another 400, and a running back who was 80 yards shy of 2,000. They won 11 games, by the way. And then the first year at Ole Miss was the COVID year with Matt Corral. And in just 10 games, Corral threw for 33-37, 29 touchdowns. He did have 14 picks. Ran for 506 and another 4 touchdowns in 10 games. So basically, if you extrapolate those averages and play a full season, Corral would have been a 4,000-yard passer in his first year with Kiffin. My point is, as much as we talk about the transition, new offense, terminology, all that stuff, that matters. I'm not saying that doesn't matter. I have a sample size that say each of the last 3 places Kiffin's been, the first year, it don't matter who the quarterback is, what his skill set is, what they have made the offense go. It doesn't matter if it's a converted quarterback, a guy that's more of a runner and you lean heavily on your rushing game, or a guy that can really spin it and throw for 3,300 yards in just 10 games. Kiffin said last week they fit their personnel, they fit their offense to the personnel. Sometimes it's Derrick Henry, who's a 2,000-yard rusher. Sometimes it's Devin Singletary, who's a 1,900-yard rusher. And sometimes it's Matt Corral or Blake Sims. It's going to be fascinating to see. But it's going to revolve the universe. It will all the planets will orbit around Sam Levitt. And whatever that means for him as a draft prospect, like Field Yates was saying, I don't really care. What I do care about is the video game numbers that Field Yates is talking about. Because if that follows, then yeah, this could be a really special offense, complementing a defense that probably be the strongest that we've seen since Dave Aranda left. All right, it's after further review. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here. Monday edition of AFR presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, shutters, and shades. Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. By the way, Show Open Every Day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of the Tigers, the official beer of the New Orleans Saints. Yo, we got football on Thursday. Are you kidding me? We got football on Thursday. Hall of Fame game. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light. We've made it through the wilderness. Football is upon us. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR. All right, quick break, y'all. Let me knock out. It's stunning that we're right here in the middle of Saints camp. We got football on Thursday. LSU reports for fall camp on Tuesday. They hit the practice field Wednesday. And I have to shoehorn a baseball story in here because what Jay Johnson just pulled off is freaking stunning. We're going to talk about it next on AFR.
AFR.
Love telling you about Duplessis Builders, DuplessisPools.com, DuplessisPools.com, DuplessisPools.com. My buddy Derek Duplessis and his staff, they do an awesome job. Remember, if you've ever dreamed of putting in a pool, having your own outdoor oasis, your own backyard paradise, you want Duplessis Pools because they're the best, not my opinion. Pool and Spa Magazine, now back-to-back years, has named Duplessis Pools a top 50 pool builder in America, and they are the only pool builder in Louisiana to earn that recognition. DuplessisPools.com, DuplessisPools.com. Y'all, building a pool is invasive. I mean, you got heavy machinery, you got crews, it's a couple-month-long project. They're digging a big hole in your yard. It's messy. You want a company that's going to respect you and your family and your property and your privacy and do a great job efficiently, effectively, and build you something that will last. That's Duplessis Pools. DuplessisPools.com, DuplessisPools.com. Start designing your pool at the website today, DuplessisPools.com, DuplessisPools.com.
I'm lawyer Collins Locke Meredith. Among the most important factors to consider when you're hiring an injury attorney is trust. You trust your attorney will put your interest first, treat you with respect, fairness, and honesty. You trust them to be there for you when you need them. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, thousands of clients have trusted us to represent them, and for good reasons. Please visit us at LockeMeredith.com to learn more, and whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Investing in a new roof doesn't have to be overwhelming. At Pelican Roofing, we offer 0 interest for 21 months because everyone deserves a safe, secure home. Trusted, local, affordable. Pelican Roofing, making quality roofing affordable for South Louisiana families.
Are you ready for an internet experience that actually keeps up with you? Then you're ready to step into a new kind of reliability with Rev Fiber. When your internet works, the possibilities open up, and suddenly everything feels more connected, just the way it should be. Seamless enough to keep up with every swipe and every click, anywhere you are. So leave the buffering behind. 100% fiber, 0% runaround, where support is still personal. Rev Fiber. Visit RevFiber.com.
Raising Cane's Texas Toast is a thick slice of bread, garlic buttered spread, grilled to golden perfection, and made to order just for you. Because when you make it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
People think it's all about game day, but the real work happens in the off season. And we need a healthcare team that works as hard as we do.
At FML Health, our lay of the lake, we take care of LSU football year-round.
We trust the lake.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodel.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Thanks for hanging out with us here. Great day. Paulie's off this week. Cassie's in on the video producing board there. Muse is here. Glad you are as well. Otter's back. Otter is back from Del Mar.
The grand return.
We will get some Otter locks in tonight. Any idea how he did?
At Del Mar, no. But look, we can ask him when he's here.
Where the surf meets the turf.
I mean, I can tell you, look, he had a great time. I know that.
Well, how could you not?
Exactly.
How could you not? We had Lance Moore here last week talking about how he lives 15 minutes from Del Mar. Got to ask the Otter if he connected with old Lance Moore, old number 16 at any point. If not, maybe got to connect those guys next year when Otter's out there.
Otter and Lance Moore just betting the ponies together.
It's a match made in heaven. All right, it's after further review. Thanks for hanging out with us here. LSU reports for fall camp. By the way, tonight at 6 p.m. is the meeting at the governor's mansion with the top 40 donors. With the governor, the president, President Wade Roos, and the top donors. LSU reports for fall camp tomorrow. They hit the practice field on Wednesday. The Saints practice today in full pads. Jalen Polk retired over the weekend, suddenly and stunningly. And I'm going to do a baseball segment, which should speak to just how improbable this is. Now, we've talked about Logan Schmidt for a while. And if you're not familiar, the very abbreviated Cliff's Notes, he was the number one signee in LSU's most recent class. Lefty out of California, touches 98. 17 years old, okay? We just made 18. But he reclassed. So he should be going into his senior year of high school, but he graduated a year early. So you're talking about a dude that's 6'4", and as a 17-year-old lefty, his average fastball was 94.5 miles an hour, and he was touching 98. He reclassed to graduate early, never had any intention whatsoever of playing college baseball. You have to understand this. Like, nobody at LSU, nobody in Major League Baseball, nobody thought this kid was coming to campus. Nobody. 17-year-olds that throw 98 from the left side don't go to school. They don't. It's not a thing that happens. And Cleveland screwed it up.
Cleveland!
And I'm so glad that Cleveland, in its existence, is a dumpster fire of a place, because Cleveland screwing this up opened the door ever so slightly for Jay Johnson to come in and kick it wide open. That's exactly what he did. Cleveland drafted Schmidt blind. They drafted him without a deal in place. The max they could offer was $1.7 million. They took a risk, assuming that this kid who did not want to go to school would take what they could offer, and he didn't. And so he had two options. Go JUCO and be back in school or back in the draft next summer. Just delay your signing bonus a year. Or go to school at LSU, but if you do that, you're locked in for 3 years. And Jay Johnson, and I'll tell you, before the draft, if you would have asked me, hey, what's the percent odds that Logan Schmidt plays college baseball? I would have been like 0.000000001%. Like, it wasn't happening. He was not, like, this LSU, the staff, everyone knew he was not coming to school. And then the draft unfolded. And even after that, I think we said after the draft, or after when the deadline to sign last week passed, I said, okay, maybe a 20% chance. Still overwhelmingly that a kid who, 3 weeks ago, had no intention of ever stepping foot on a college campus, now you're going to tell him he's got to spend 3 years? Like, it's just not something that felt very likely. But Jay Johnson, there's a reason he is the greatest recruiter and evaluator and compilator of talent in the game today. This is a guy that who remind you, he got Chris Bryant to San Diego. Like, they put together a comprehensive plan. Jay got on a plane after Derek Curiel's signing ceremony in Pittsburgh, flew to California, and as I understand it, their goal was to try to get Schmidt to come visit. Like, they wanted just to come to campus to see. They had until the semester starts. Semester doesn't start until like August 24th. Yeah, like 3 more weeks. Schmidt's like, no, I'm good. I'm there. Didn't even visit. And what they did, man, how they put this together, as I understand it, was so impressive. Naturally, they were going to use the comps of Cade Anderson and Anthony Ianson and Gage Jump, how they've developed those guys. They got these elite talents here, how they developed them, using all the technology, the pitch man, the track man, all the stuff that they have to track every pitch of every bullpen in every game and show them what's working, what doesn't, how to tweak whatever. It's all the things that guys like Paul Skeens and everybody have talked about. but it's how you develop an elite-level arm talent into an elite-level pitcher and prospect to become a top draft pick on the fast track to Major League Baseball. And they have the examples. And so they laid out the example of what Gage Jump was when he showed up, what he was when he left, and why he's in the majors now. What Cade Anderson was when he was coming off of TJ in high school, when he showed up, how they developed him over 2 years, made him the third pick of the draft, and now is fast tracked toward Major League Baseball. And the other thing, too, talking to people within the program, like they believe in we're talking to Joe Doyle in a little bit as well, that as of now, like at this point in their respective lives, Logan Schmidt is a better physical talent at this point than Cade Anderson was at the same point in his development, like just turning 18 years old. So think about that. You already have this elite level physical ability that now you need to match with growth and development. And it is going to be so fun to watch. Now, there's two other components. One is the money, which I know everybody's going to ask about and wonder how that all comes together. My understanding, and I was not given a hard number. If I did, I would tell you, or if I was comfortable telling you, I was not. Because I asked a question point blank, let's just say of people who would know. So he passed on 1.7 with Cleveland. Did he get that from LSU? And I was told close. So I don't know the exact number, but over 3 years at LSU, the compensation package they put together would put him close to what he passed on with Cleveland. Okay? Like, even if you just assume, if he passed on what, like, again, I'm being transparent. I do not know the number. But let's say it's $500 per year over 3 years. That puts you at 1.5. So it's a very nice lick over those 3 years, but there's still a lot of risk involved, right? But you get whatever that number is over 3 years guaranteed to you. You'll have the opportunity, if you become a star, to make true NIL on top of that. That's one of the things about Tommy White. When Tommy White got no money to come here from NC State. Like, he didn't get a bag when he showed up. But when he showed up and became a star, he became super marketable and made a lot of money while he was here. Same with Skeens. But Skeens was 1 year, Tommy White was 2. So my point is, like, he'll have the opportunity to make more on top of that and then get the signing bonus in 2029 if he develops the way they're tracking and projecting him to do, and then fast track to Major League Baseball like we're seeing right now with Cade Anderson. That's the pitch. Now, what does it mean for LSU on the field in 2027, 28, 29, et cetera? Well, ideally, and Jay Johnson's talked about this all offseason, ideally, Kason Evans, William Schmidt take the big step in year 3, and they become your 1-2 punch. And so then what you're looking for is, okay, who's your Sunday guy and who's your midweek guy? And you got a whole lot of options, right? Cooper Moore is back. Obviously, Logan Schmidt coming in will be vying for one of those roles. You brought in Landon Hood from Gonzaga, who could be your number 3. He could be your closer. He could be Kason Evans from the championship team 2 years ago. The guy that you give the ball to in the 8th and say, go get me 6 outs. And it's curtains. And then guys like Reagan Ricken and Cooper Williams, who had the opportunity, maybe if they develop, would have the opportunity there as well. You know, Colby Stringer is someone we're very high on, who might be a guy who can give you long relief, but could battle for one of those jobs if he comes in and makes an instant impact. They love Lucas Naraki as well from the left side, but probably a lefty reliever early. But you can look to that role in 2027 and say, okay, at like ceiling 2027 could be maybe the number 3 starter. But 28, when Evans and William Schmidt are gone, now you're talking about a guy like Cade Anderson in his sophomore year. You're like, here's the ball on Friday night, go. That's the ambition. And for 2 years, he's your Friday night guy, like Aaron Nola was. And I get it. I get everyone who says, I got to see it first against SEC hitting. I'm with you. I understand. I fully understand your perspective, why you would take that point of view. What I'm telling you is, you're talking about a guy with the physical ability from the left side, unlike has shown up on campus. I get Cam Johnson a few years ago showed up, and he was a high prospect, and he couldn't throw a strike. Cam Johnson had arm talent. He was not a refined pitcher. You're talking about a guy who already is light years ahead of those guys, who has already got a 3-pitch mix that they feel like they're comfortable calling in any count. When you're a strike thrower with that ability, and now you match development on a 6'4" frame of a guy who just turned 18, you're talking about the possibility. Ceiling, you're talking about David Price as a ceiling. A left-handed pitcher shows up on campus for 3 years. So, look, I wouldn't be, if it wasn't that big of a deal, we wouldn't be spending the second segment on a Monday in August when the Saints are in camp and LSU reports tomorrow. We wouldn't be talking about baseball on the first Monday in August. It's why, and it illustrates why and how this is so significant, not just for this year, but over the next 3 years of the program, to have a guy like Logan Schmidt showing up on campus. It's just stunning. I mean, Jay Johnson pulled off one of the biggest upsets you could possibly imagine. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Our Lady of the Lake, Championship Health partner of LSU Athletics. I have a sneaking suspicion that maybe Logan Schmidt might end up as one of the Our Lady of the Lake NIL athletes. We'll see when he shows up on campus. The bottom line is, yes, Our Lady of the Lake is an incredible relationship with LSU and LSU Athletics as the official championship healthcare partner of LSU Athletics. They take care of the LSU athletes that we cheer for on Saturday nights, but they also take care of everyday champions like you and me. I've told you, my own personal physician, Dr. Curtis Chastain at the Our Lady of the Lake Men's Health Group, Drew C. Specialist at the Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital. They just cut the ribbon on the world-class Our Lady of the Lake Cancer Institute. If it's cancer or stroke or heart health or pediatrics or whatever, you can get world-class care at home thanks to the lake. OLOL. Well, let me give you the FMOL. FMOLhealth.org/LSU. That's where you can go to the website to learn more about the Championship Health Partnership. FMOLhealth.org/LSU. Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, together we roar. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. Let me knock out a quick break. Turns out Taysom Hill might be headed for Denver. Also, water is wet. The sky is blue. We'll talk about that in 15 minutes. When we come back, go around the SEC, and I'll catch you up on what ended up being kind of a wacky weekend after we left you on Friday for the future of the Protect College Sports Act and the whole 5 for 5 ruling. A lot to get to. We'll sort through all the mess next on AFR.
AFR.
Man, the humidity's down a smidge, which is really nice, but still 93 degrees outside right now. Got an issue with your AC? Call River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. Spell it out, O-N-E, 1hourbr.com. Just look for the big yellow vans and trucks with a giant clock on the side. They help your friends and neighbors like they have for the last 40 years. And remember, you can trust River City's 1 Hour Air. When the technicians come into your house, there's two things I want to remind you of. Number one, when the technician's on the way, you'll get a call, a text, and an email alerting you the technician's on the way. You will get the name, photo, and reviews of that technician, so you know exactly who's coming to your house. And they're always going to give you a good, better, and best option, and you decide what's best for your budget. It's River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001, 752-0001, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime.
The experts at Hood Dental Care want you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get a healthy gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays. A $376 value. With over 3,000 five-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling with same-day care. Hood Dental makes it simple to get started. And we always have other great giveaways for new patients. Check out hooddentalcare.com and schedule your appointment today.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Eagle 98.1, the rock station. Home of the Woody Show in the morning. Scotty Mack with Rock at Work. Michelle Southern with Southern Rock. Home of LSU sports since 1998. And rock for Baton Rouge since 1985. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. To join our VIP fan club, text ROCK to 225-499-9898. Eagle 98.1, the rock station.
People think it's all about game day, but the real work happens in the off season, and we need a healthcare team that works as hard as we do.
At FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake, we take care of LSU football year-round.
We trust the lake.
At Parrish, we take pride in building roofs that last, because in Louisiana, toughness isn't just on the court, it's in your home too.
Parrish Construction and Roofing.
At Parrish, we take pride in building roofs that last because championships are built on commitment, not just on the floor or the court, but your home too.
Parrish Construction and Roofing.
Better coverage for less money. It's Insurance Network of Louisiana. Hey, listen, yes, homeowners insurance, auto insurance, flood, boat, RV, all that stuff, they can help you there, but also your business insurance, commercial auto, workers' comp. Listen, if you're a business owner, and I know many of you are, like, we all try to figure out ways to increase revenue, reduce expenses to improve the bottom line. Well, one of your recurring monthly expenses is your insurance coverage. What if you're overpaying? What if every month in perpetuity you could save money on your insurance? Sounds pretty good. Insurance Network of Louisiana. They shop independently for free dozens of the top-rated companies in the world to find you better coverage for less money. 293-0450, 293-0450, 293-0450.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Well, on Friday, it looked like the Protect College Sports Act was dead when we left. The self-imposed sort of deadline by members of Congress for a vote came and went on Thursday and into Friday. And then Friday evening, very suddenly and abruptly, the Big Ten and the SEC put out a joint statement announcing that they are supporting the Protect College Sports Act in its current form. Now, Ross Dellinger, who's been all over the story, did a great job. Apparently, the president was nearing a point where he was going to take action publicly, which I think we'd all assume meant he would have gone on social media and would have been admonished the SEC and the Big Ten publicly, because they were the ones, college sports have been asking forever for Congress to get involved. Congress finally gets involved. They draft this legislation, and then the SEC and the Big Ten are like, nah, we don't like it. So whatever was done there on Friday to get the SEC and the Big Ten on board, it's fantastic news. Now, what remains to be seen, a couple of things that matter. Number one, it hasn't passed. This isn't a law yet. So it has to come to the Senate, the full Senate, for a vote. And then if it passes the Senate, it would have to go to the House. I think many of us understand how the legislative process works. It would have to pass the Senate, then pass the House, and then go to the president's desk for a signature, and then it would be signed into law. So, and again, I know nothing about Congress and what they're talking about up there and all this stuff. But again, referencing Ross's piece, apparently this week there's a lot that needs to be done that has with our government that has nothing to do with college sports, go figure. So it's not a foregone conclusion that the Protect College Sports Act will go before the full Senate for a vote this week. And they're up against it before they adjourn, and it's months until they reconvene. And so it wouldn't be here during the fall that this would come up for a vote. So if you're trying to get this all into effect for next season, obviously you need to move a little swiftly. For next football season, obviously. And you go into the portal cycle in January, you get it. So it affects eligibility and payments and all that sort of stuff. So they're under a little bit of a deadline, but it feels like now it can move forward. And you say, well, why does Congress need the SEC or the Big Ten support? Well, the senators from those states likely wouldn't vote against their constituents' wishes. So it's effectively, I believe it's 23 of the states are represented. I think I saw this last week. 23 of the states are represented by the SEC and Big Ten schools. So it would give them enough votes to pass the Protect College Sports Act if all of the senators in those states represented from the SEC and the Big Ten vote for it, in addition to the ones that were already in favor, right? So that presumably is a good thing, right? That the Protect College Sports Act looks like it can move forward now. There's a big question as to whether or not there would still be loopholes for third-party payments, true NIL, all that sort of stuff. Senator Cruz tweeted on Friday that it would be a hard cap. The loophole is closed. It would be about $48 million for football rosters, and that's it. Like, there was no going over that number. Remains to be seen. I'm a little skeptical. Then again, I have not read the whole bill. I am not a legal analyst or a congressional analyst or any of that sort of stuff, but I'll be interested when all of this does reach its conclusion, what it says about that. So that's one thing that's interesting. The other is there was a judge in Colorado on Friday who granted an injunction for players who were just seniors in this most recent fiscal year, right? The 2025-2026 school year, so the ones that just graduated. For example, like a guy like Chris Stanfield in baseball. But if you just finished your eligibility, basically what she ruled is that all those players who just finished their eligibility, they have an injunction where they have another year of eligibility. The problem for them is, and a lot of players then would assume we're going to the portal and might try to play, as she issued a clarification, any play, all the other NCAA rules stand up. So any player in any sport who has signed a professional contract, you're out of eligibility. You forfeit your eligibility. So it sucks for some of those guys that maybe were undrafted free agents and are in a NFL, NFL camp right now as a UDFA trying to make a team where they would have had way more value in college, but such is life. So I did ask, by the way, around LSU today, if any players in any sports are eligible or considering coming back under this injunction. That's still very much to be determined. There were none as of this morning when I inquired. But again, I think because it happened over the weekend, there's still a lot of, it was probably today when a lot of that work would start to get done, looking through and combing through rosters and are there roster spots available and money available and all the everything associated therein. So keep an eye on that. But as of now, nothing really significant as far as players who just finished their eligibility coming back to LSU for this coming season. If that changes, we'll certainly talk about it. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthFarmCredit.com, FirstSouthFarmCredit.com. If you're thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. Again, they've been helping Louisianians buy land since 1916. It's First South Farm Credit. Hey, go to the website, FirstSouthFarmCredit.com, FirstSouthFarmCredit.com. Right there on the homepage of the website, they have the ultimate recreational land buyer's guide. So if you're thinking of buying land, be it hunting property, your recreational property, 50 acres to build your family's dream home, maybe 1,000 acres for agriculture. And if you're just starting out, they have a great free resource right there on the homepage at FirstSouthFarmCredit.com, FirstSouthFarmCredit.com. If you're thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthFarmCredit.com, FirstSouthFarmCredit.com. Okay, we do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference. The Texas Longhorns.
Steve Sarkisian landed the nation's number 3 running back over the weekend. 4-star Landon Williams-Callis picked the Longhorns for the 2027 class, 5'8", 185. He's out of Texas. He picked the Horns over Missouri, and Texas A&M, Houston, SMU were also in the mix.
The Arkansas Razorbacks.
Former Georgia track star Maurice Gleaton is headed to join Ryan Silverfield and the Arkansas Razorbacks for football. So he's a wide receiver. We'll join him ahead of fall camp. Actually visited Arkansas back in November of 2024, but went to Georgia officially as exclusively as a track star. So played football in high school, limited. 5'10 freshman entered the transfer portal in June. Visited the Razorbacks for track, but apparently while he was there, had a conversation with Silverfield, and now he'll join the Hogs this fall.
The Georgia Bulldogs.
Safety Seth Williams has committed to home state Georgia over Clemson. He had been committed to Dabo Swinney and the Tigers for a few weeks earlier this year before decommitting, and now is committed to Georgia. 4-star out of the Atlanta area. He's the 35th best safety in the country, the 42nd player in the state of Georgia. 6'2", 185. He's the 20th commit for Georgia's 2027 class.
The Kentucky Wildcats.
And Will Stein has talked about the possibility of Alex Afari rejoining Kentucky for a 5th season. This is interesting. So that's a former Wildcat star who participated in Packers minicamp this offseason but did not sign an NFL deal. So he's exploring the possibility of returning to Kentucky, something that Stein did not rule out when he met with media on Monday. So Afari Had 193 tackles, 26.5 TFLs during his 4 seasons at Kentucky, and could very well be rejoining the Wildcats. Okay, there you have it. That is Around the SEC. Monday shows are presented by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, siding, shutters, and shades. Relief Windows, official window partner of LSU Athletics. That's an interesting story about the Kentucky player, because remember that the important designation there is that he had not signed a pro contract. That is the verbiage in the NCAA bylaws. You cannot sign a pro contract. It doesn't matter that he went to minicamp. We talk about this with the basketball guys as well. Like, if you sign a contract, including a 2-way deal, you're ineligible. That's the whole thing with R.J. Lewis that we keep talking about. So it will be fascinating to see which players start to surface that, with this injunction that was signed over the weekend by the judge in Colorado, have the opportunity to return, and which actually take advantage of it. All right, it's after further review. Let me knock out our final break of hour number 1. Taysom Hill. Could Taysom Hill be joining Sean Payton in Denver? Sean Payton answered that question today. You'll hear it next. It's AFR.
After further review.
We're brought to you by the Watermark and the Renaissance. Watermark Downtown, Renaissance South Down. 2 amazing hotel properties. Of course, Watermark Baton Rouge is the premier hotel property in Baton Rouge. Renaissance, right there on Bluebonnet, is where the Tigers stay on the Friday night before home football games. Gorgeous, beautiful, palatial, sprawling hotel on Bluebonnet. Giant, spacious guest rooms. Every Renaissance guest room is designed uniquely to the market it's in. You'll love it. They have like the Cajun Dictionary wallpaper in the guest rooms. If you just got to book a night at Renaissance Baton Rouge to go see for yourself. Maybe you have friends or clients or family coming in town for football games this year. Make sure, act now, y'all. Get your rooms now, because they're going to fill up at Renaissance Baton Rouge for the home football games or for any occasion. And, of course, they can host your event for any occasion. Call my friend Allison Crump over at Renaissance Baton Rouge. If you have an event coming up, you need to host it, let her explain how they can make it happen. Right there on Bluebonnet. It's Renaissance Baton Rouge.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience, or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. At Locke Meredith Sean Fagan & Associates, we know each case and client are unique, and that no 2 cases are the same. But one thing remains constant, and that is our passion to help our clients. After an accident, we know your life has changed, which is why we passionately fight to make you and your family whole. Remember, whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. We're here to serve you.
The Ascension Parish Sheriff's Office protects and serves over 132,000 residents across the parish.
Keeping our community safe is our mission, and Rev Fiber plays a critical role in how we respond. Whether it's training in our special divisions, forensics investigations, or fielding emergency calls in our operations center, Rev Business connects our teams in real time, which is why we partner with Rev Business.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
The Saints are back on the practice field, day 5 of camp. Ross Jackson will be here at the top of hour 3, a little more than an hour from right now, to give a Saints camp report from today. And then in about a dozen minutes, after we get to the Sports Center and everything, I do want to react fully to the Jalen Polk news. Former second-round pick suddenly retired from the NFL at 24 years old on Sunday. Kellen Moore did react to that when he met with reporters after practice here on Monday. So we'll let you hear from Kellen Moore. I'll react to that when I have time, coming again in about 12 minutes from right now. Not the only significant announcement of a player not being back with New Orleans. We learned last week, of course, Taysom Hill will not be back in New Orleans. That, I don't think, was a surprise to anyone. Really, if you heard Taysom after the final home game against the Jets last season, it was very obvious how emotional he became. That was it. That was it going to be it for Taysom in New Orleans. I think we all knew that was a foregone conclusion. So, too, seemingly was a foregone conclusion that the only place that would be interested in a 35-year-old Taysom Hill, who had a very unproductive season a year ago after coming off a knee injury that cut his 24 season in half, of course, would be the man who basically birthed Taysom Hill's career, and that would be Sean Payton in Denver. And Sean Payton, in training camp with the Broncos here on Monday, was asked about Taysom Hill and the possibility of him joining up and joining forces there in the Mile High City.
There's no hurry right now. I'm going to see him here in 5 days, so we'll see where he's at. And the key thing is his health and where he's at mentally. You know, I don't want to assume that he still wants to play. You know, I haven't had a chance to talk with him. Our doctor here, Kareem, is the one who did his surgery, and he's actually had a bunch of follow-up. I mean, he's come to Denver for 2 or 3 follow-ups, so we'll see where that goes.
Remember, Taysom is from out west. We know he played at BYU and has that sort of history there out west. But I think a couple of things are true here. First of all, Sean said he'll see him in 5 days. Sean Payton is presenting Drew Brees for the Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame ceremony is Saturday. Sean's presenting Drew Brees, and so Taysom will be there in Canton for the ceremony, which is awesome. Love that. But I also, you can look at the whole, like we always say, actions speak louder than words. If Taysom Hill wanted to retire, he would be retired. Does that make sense? Like, we all knew at the end of last season he wasn't going to be back in New Orleans. Taysom knew it. He was emotional in his post-game presser after the last home game against the Jets. They didn't re-sign him at any point. Like, everyone has known this was an inevitability. Taysom was not going to be back. If he wanted to retire, he would have retired after last season. The fact that he hasn't retired, he's left the door open to playing again because presumably he still wants to play. Okay. But there's really only one situation where that makes sense, which is why last week, whenever we finally got word that Taysom was not going to be back in New Orleans and he announced his farewell to the city and to the organization, everybody all was like, okay, well, the most obvious thing here is that he's going to play in Denver. I mean, if we're being honest, a little like Letterman-style top 10, few things are less surprising than Taysom Hill being interested in Denver. I mean, Ross and Rachel getting back together. Less surprising than Taysom Hill.
Yeah. Which time?
Cassie,
getting back
that's
together.
the point.
Yeah.
Cassie, yeah, for your friend's person.
Yes.
See? Less surprising than Taysom Hill joining forces with Sean Payton, running into Jimmy out in Del Mar in July.
Yeah.
How about
ask Lance Moore? He did it.
How about the ending of the Titanic?
Yep.
Less surprising than Taysom Hill ending up in Denver.
Sinks every time.
Muse, you'll relate to this one. Smelling weed at Mardi Gras Parade? less surprising.
Happens a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially when you're around.
No, not me specifically,
Always.
but yeah, you'll smell it.
Our guy Gordon buying another billboard. Less surprising than Taysom Hill ending up in Denver.
I like that one.
Seeing Hulk Hogan get back up after a 2 count. Less surprising.
That's really good.
Less surprising.
That's the best one
Less
so
surprising.
far. I like that. The Hulkster kicks out at 2.5. Oh, man.
Oh, man. Musso naming his first kid after Wade Boggs.
That's okay.
Less surprising.
Wait.
Or would it have to be Nomar?
Omar, man. Yeah.
Johnny Damon.
Damon.
See? Or is he Judas Damon to you?
It's past.
And the number one reason, less surprising than Taysom Hill in Denver, finding out Mickey Loomis orders juicy fruit in bulk. Now we need the music.
Yeah.
The music. The music at the end of the top 10 list.
Well, that's the thing. This isn't exactly that.
Just play something. Anything? Anything. Here it is. All right. We're wrapping up hour number 1. We're brought to you by Relief Windows. We didn't nail the dismount there, Muse. Maybe too much of your Mardi Gras weed smoking there, Panama Red. I see the clock. Panama Red. I'm paying attention, even if you aren't. All right, hour number 2 is coming up after Sports Center.
After further review.
We're brought to you by Parish Restoration. ParishRestoration.com. Kill mold, remove odor. Have mold? Think you might. Parish Restoration. Jim Woodworth and the gang, they do an awesome job over at Parish Restoration. I've told you about Jim many times over the years. Great dude. Actually a veteran, Air Force veteran, who has spent his professional life in recovery and remediation. He was there in the recovery efforts post 9/11. Made his way back to the South for the BP oil spill. Now helps home and business owners every single day with Parish Restoration. So if you have mold or think you might, maybe you've got odor from smoke, like maybe you had a fire, pet odor, sweat odor. Maybe you own a gym, a workout facility, and you smell the sweat all the time. They come in, they dry fog it, kill all that stuff, smell clean and fresh. It's Parish Restoration. They can fog your home in half a day. ParishRestoration.com. Check them out online. Get your quote. ParishRestoration.com.
Every ounce of Raising Cane's lemonade has been hand-squeezed that day from fresh lemons before being served over our signature crushed ice. Because when you make it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Who bears the standard? Who sets the bar? It's not those satisfied by low-hanging fruit or by taking it easy. No, the standard is set by the best of us, by those who work hard. Dig deeper. Give more. At Sunshine, we're proud to provide John Deere products that work hard for you, the standard bearers. Find the dealer nearest you at sunequip.com.
At Parish, we take pride in building roofs that last. Because in Louisiana, toughness isn't just on the court, it's in your home too.
Parish Construction and Roofing. ParishBuilt.com.
At Parish, we take pride in building roofs that last. Because championships are built on commitment, not just on the floor or the court, but your home too.
Parish Construction and Roofing. ParishBuilt.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
This is SportsCenter. I'm Nick DeLuca. 1 hour until the trade deadline in Major League Baseball. The Cubs are making another move for a starter, acquiring Clay Holmes from the Mets. Outfielder Tyrone Taylor in the deal as well. Holmes has a 2.39 ERA and 9 starts this season. Has not pitched in the majors since the end of May after suffering a broken leg on a comebacker. Cubs infield prospect Jefferson Rojas, the return from New York, Chicago, also landed starter Kevin Gausman in a trade with the Blue Jays last night. The Rays are dealing for Orioles reliever Tyler Wells, one of the best bullpen arms still available. Wells has a 2.67 ERA in 43 appearances this season with 53 strikeouts in 54 innings. Earlier, the Astros dealing for Blue Jays outfielder Dalton Varsho has a 682 OPS in 99 games this season at an 833 OPS last year. The Pirates upgrading their bullpen, agreeing to a deal to bring in Mets reliever Luke Weaver, has a 1.84 ERA so far this season.
If you run a small business, you've got to try Gusto. Get unlimited payroll runs and get your payroll taxes filed automatically. Offer health insurance, 401k, and more. Get started for free at gusto.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
That's right.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Cassie Spazzali.
Look what you made me do. Look what you made me do.
Musu. And Mr. Toby Tom Blake. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Joe Doyle in 30 minutes. Get some perspective, scouting perspective on Logan Schmidt, who picked the Tigers over the weekend. And we'll talk to Ross Jackson in 1 hour from right now. Get your Saints camp report. By the way, Ross's camp report's always up at LouisianaSports.net. Every day after every Saints practice, you can get them there in written form for free at LouisianaSports.net. Please check it out. Saints camp day 5 wrapped up on Monday, and no Jalen Polk because the Saints receiver retired very suddenly on Sunday. I was actually at my weekly mall walk with Drew, put him in a wagon. He loves to ride the elevators. We're rolling around, and then all of a sudden, boom, I get the notice that Jalen Polk retired. And it was especially surprising because he had gone through all the offseason. As a matter of fact, this was Kellen Moore in May talking about Jalen Polk participating.
Finally was on the field. It was fun. I feel like I've seen Jalen so much this whole past almost calendar year now. And so it was great to see him out there. I mean, you know, obviously we thought really highly of him, being able to acquire him from New England. It's been a great exposure, and I'm excited for him.
So, Kellen Moore doesn't exactly exude emotion Like, we play a lot of Kellen Moore sound bites here. Dude typically don't say much. Like, to hear him say it's exciting to see him out there, like, I believe him. It's genuine that they were excited about Jalen Polk being out there. If you don't remember, I'll kind of give you the very quick catch-up on Jalen Polk. So Jalen Polk's a kid from Texas. He begins his college career at Texas Tech. He's there for one season, the COVID year. He transfers to Washington, spends 3 seasons at UW, and was on the team that played for the national championship. It was on the, with Roma Dunze in that offense, Michael Penix, the whole deal. He goes into the draft, the 2024 draft, after the 23 season, and he's picked 37th overall by New England and has a pretty horrendous rookie season. He catches 12 balls for 87 yards. This is a guy that was the 37th pick of the draft. Played in 15 games, started 7 times, but basically had 0 productivity in that offense. And it wasn't just the stats. Pro Football Focus, so in that season, the 2024 season, I went and looked this up today. So the 2024 season, Pro Football Focus gave a season-long grade to 223 wide receivers. Jalen Polk, the 37th pick in the draft in his rookie year, graded out 221st out of 223 receivers. There were only 2 receivers in the NFL that got a worse grade from PFF in 2024. So New England's like, whatever. So he has shoulder surgery in August. They trade him to the Saints. The Saints know, look, he's already had the surgery. They traded for him knowing that he's basically getting a redshirt year. But the Saints sent a 6th-round pick to New England for Polk and a 7. So if nothing works out with Polk, basically it was a pick swap. They got a 6, you got a 7. And maybe Polk works out. Like, y'all know I've lent my fair share of criticism to Mickey Loomis. This is one of those deals I don't hate. Like, it was a low-risk, high-potential reward. It didn't pay off for you, but I have no problem making the deal because it's a really talented guy that maybe fresh beginnings, new beginnings, fresh start, new scenery might have served him well. And it seemed like it was going that direction. But on Sunday, very suddenly, Jalen Polk announces he's retiring, something that Kellen Moore was asked about when he met with reporters on Monday.
Jalen Polk went to reserve, retired. He was good about the whole thing. As we had a lot of conversations. We went through this, just kind of something that he felt was right for him, personal thing. And so he was great. Communication again, as always, was great. And so we love that guy. And so we'll keep close with him still as he kind of goes through everything.
There's certainly more to this story. Because there's the news and then there's what's really going on. The news is that Jalen Polk retired. But when you look at a 24-year-old former 2nd-round pick who the Saints traded for, effectively gave him a redshirt year, he went through the whole offseason program, man. He went through OTAs and minicamp and all of it, and now a week into training camp when he's finally back out on the field and a lot of excitement surrounding him, he just suddenly retires. Like, something else is going on. And they tried to press Kellen Moore on that today.
I'll let him kind of handle that. But, again, it was a personal decision. And Jalen had a great OTAs, great start to camp. And I think, he just felt like this was the best decision for him on a personal level. And so, love that guy. He did an awesome job through the entire process here, the year plus that we had him. And so we'll continue to support him and love him.
So not a year plus, by the way. I mean, it was late August last year when they traded for him. So it hasn't even been a calendar year since Jalen Polk showed up. But I will be interested if and when Jalen Polk decides to make that public for whatever reason he chose to retire. I'll be very curious to hear what he says because, candidly, that's a guy where I had a low expectation, but high hopes, and was really pulling for him. Just generally speaking in life, I don't like to see people struggle or fail. I believe life is abundant and we can all have success and we should pull for each other and lift each other up. And I think that's true in business and in life and everything. And so America loves a comeback story. I would have loved to have seen this for Jalen Polk, considering all the things we just talked about. And it felt like it was falling in line there. And for him to suddenly retire, we'll see now what that reason is. I was really hopeful that it would have worked out for him. But as I look at the receiver position in New Orleans now without Jalen Polk, the truth is it doesn't really hurt you because you didn't have anything. You can't lose something you never had. Like Jalen Polk was on the team a year ago, but was unavailable because of injury. So he spent the year on IR. And so it's not like you had this productive player that you were counting on, that you gave up a lot of assets and resources for to be a productive player on your team. Like it's the anti-Brian Brzee situation. Now, Brzee, thankfully, his career is not over, but losing Brzee is significant because that's an interior pass rusher, a guy that was a first-round pick. You have a lot invested in him. You picked up his fifth-year option for next year. He's a guy that was going to be part of your interior rotation. Has had a 7.5 sack season. You're really hoping he'd put it all together this year. So you have a lot invested in Brzee, and so for him not to be available, that's significant. Polk hadn't done anything. So you were hopeful, but not necessarily rightly optimistic. And so you look at the Saints receiving core now. I mean, Chris Olave is coming off a career year, had 1,100 yards. You just gave him the big contract. You drafted Jordan Tyson, 10th overall. There's grand expectations there. And already right there, just when you look at Olave Tyson, that's a better 1-2 than what you had for the second half of last year after you traded Rashid Shaheed. Vele was starting to produce for you until his injury, and then you were looking at Kevin Austin and Mason Tipton and Samari Toure and Ronnie Bell. I mean, you have much greater expectations for Jordan Tyson. So Olave Tyson, 1-2, already gives you a better presence than you had a year ago. Devon Vele is there as your number 3. And then down the line, you're really hopeful about the rookies like Bryce Lance and Barry and Brown. That's 5 that are almost certainly locks to make the team. The question now with Polk's retirement is can someone move up a chair and make the team as a 6th receiver? Can a veteran like Austin or Mason Tipton make the team? Someone asked me today if I think the Saints would sign a receiver. I don't think you need to. I don't think you need to go hunting for a 5th or 6th wide receiver. Now, if you think Barry and Brown specifically helps you as a return specialist, then maybe that's your 6th, and you're looking for someone else who could be part of the rotation that might be better than Austin or Tipton or Ronnie Bell or one of those guys. But I think that remains to be seen and time will tell. And then you also have to remember, as far as pass catchers, you have Kamara and HN, and you have Juwan Johnson, and you drafted Oscar Delp, and you signed Noah Fant. Like, there's no shortage of pass catchers. That was certainly a problem a year ago. It's not now, in theory anyway. So while it's disappointing Jalen Polk's retirement, really shouldn't have a massive effect or really any effect at all on this New Orleans Saints offense and what our projections are for it. All right, if we get any more info on Polk's retirement, we'll certainly pass it on. We're brought to you by Evermore, EVAMOR, evermore.com. Y'all, it's 94 degrees outside. Make sure you stay hydrated. Pick up delicious Evermore. So Saturday, we did Saturday night in New Orleans. Erica's birthday was Thursday, and her best friend's birthday is this Thursday. So we always do like a couples trip for their birthdays in New Orleans. And went to dinner, had a great time, great day. And as we were walking from dinner back to the hotel, I popped into one of those, it was one of those stores on Canal. You know, you can grab your huge ass beer, or you can grab your beads or whatever you want out of there. I got a 64-ounce Evermore. Because, of course I do. You got to stay hydrated. EVAMOR, evermore.com, evermore.com, evermore.com. Available at great local retailers, natural artesian water, a healthier product, a healthier alternative. Available at great local retailers with national distribution and online. 20, 32, and 64-ounce bottles available. Evermore.com, EVAMOR, evermore.com. All right, y'all, it's after further review. We will knock out a quick break. I just dropped my pen. When we come back, we're going to get to Joe Doyle in 17 minutes. Excited to have Joe Doyle here to talk a little bit about Logan Schmidt showing up on LSU's campus. Ross Jackson at the top of hour 3. When we come back, we have new odds to make the college football playoff and to win the SEC. And I think this is an emerging market that I want to talk about. And we'll tell you what it says about LSU and the SEC and where they fall. We'll get to all that as we continue. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
Buying or selling, commercial or residential, think Darren James and get your home sold. Agent225.com, agent225.com. One more time, agent225.com. Darren James, Wall Street Journal's listed the top 1% of realtors in America. What did you just say? Top 1% of realtors in America. How do you end up as a top 20 realtor in the entire country in volume? Well, it's all about having the right people, the right processes, the systems in place, and delivering an exceptional customer service experience that gets results. That's Darren James. I've experienced it both as a buyer and a seller working with Darren. I guarantee you, work with Darren, you'll be thrilled. He guarantees it as well. 335-7666, 335-7666. One more time, 335-7666. That's Darren Sell or agent225.com, agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
Community sailing is all about getting people in the New Orleans area out on boats, out on Lake Pontchartrain. Gulf Coast Bank helps us provide opportunities to get folks out who might not otherwise have the financial means to come sailing. Auctions in August is an online fundraiser that helps nonprofits like us service the community. Bidding through Auctions in August is a lot of fun because there's so many different items. There's something for everyone, so you're sure to find something that relates directly to you that you'll enjoy bidding on, and you get to help out the community.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
If you need a metal building, you need Proform Steel. And it doesn't matter what size metal building, by the way. It could be a shed in your backyard, or we're talking about giant commercial industrial buildings. Proform Steel. So it's proformla.com. The easiest thing to do is go to the website, proformla.com, proformla.com. There's a request a quote tab at the top of the page. Click that. You will have someone call you same day. Like, someone will be in touch with you same day, guaranteed. It's metal buildings, built right, from design to delivery, every single material, everything they use, all American made. Their lead times are quicker because they do everything in-house and can generally get to you a month to chew ahead of competitors, and free delivery on everything. You buy a metal building from Proform Steel, they will deliver it for free no matter the size. Proformla.com. Request a quote today, proformla.com.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Stay in the game with LouisianaSports.net. Text LSN to 225-499-1045 for breaking news, instant updates on LSU, the SEC, and everything happening across the world in sports. Also, check out the Our Partners page when you're at LouisianaSports.net and click and see the partners who support your favorite shows here on 104.5 ESPN Betters. Learn more about them there, LouisianaSports.net.
So I don't love lists. You know that if you follow the show for any length of time. I don't like top 10 quarterbacks, bottom 10 that, top 10 rivalries, Mount Rushmore. I just think it's lazy summertime stuff. What I will pay attention to, however, is objective data. If you have some objective, analytical, algorithmic data behind this assertion, whatever it is, then I'm at least interested. Like, I'll consider just to see what it says. And maybe some of that is helping fuel the sports betting market or whatever the case may be. So ESPN Analytics has their list of like your percentage odds of winning the national championship, right? And so based on a lot of, qualifiers throughout the 2 years of the 12-team playoffs, they looked at ESPN. ESPN looked at, Heather Dinich actually put this out, looked at ESPN Analytics, and there's 28 teams that have at least a 10% chance to reach the college football playoff. Now, one notable difference is that each of the Power Four conference champions is guaranteed a spot. So, like, any team that has a shot of winning the Big Ten, the SEC, the Big 12, the ACC, you're a legit contender because you're going to be in. It's no longer, just because remember, a year ago, Duke won the ACC and did not make the playoff. That changes now with the way they changed the regulations. If you're a Power Four conference champion, you're automatically in. So in this scenario a year ago, Duke would have been in. Well, you can't win the playoff if you don't get in the playoff. So that's why the barometer there was 28 teams, at least a 10% chance of winning the playoff. Texas actually has the best chance at 13.2% to win the national championship. Forgive me, I'm sorry. They have they just went through rankings here. But they have Texas with a 13% chance, Ohio State a 17% chance, Notre Dame a 10% chance. So you kind of understand, like the high water mark is there in that is 17 and below. Like Indiana's ranked 6th. They have a 6% chance of winning the national championship. For whatever it's worth, looking at the LSU resume here, they had LSU ranked preseason number 10 in the ESPN Analytics, and they give LSU a 39.7% chance of making the playoff and a 3.5% chance of winning the national title. So a 3.5% chance of winning the national title. But again, you can't win it if you're not in it. And so these ESPN Analytics gives LSU basically a 40% chance of winning it. But I like to compare that to like the other SEC schools, because if you assume, and again, you know what happens when you assume. If you assume 4 SEC teams get in, basically the question is, all right, is LSU among the top 4? Well, Texas is in there, as we mentioned. Georgia is in there. And then Ole Miss is ranked 8th, but has just a 22% chance of making the playoff according to ESPN Analytics. A&M, ranked one spot ahead of LSU, is a 39% chance, 39.1, and LSU's at 39.7. So LSU actually has the 3rd best percentage odds of making the playoff, according to ESPN Analytics, behind just Texas and Georgia. So again, it's less, what's your opinion of a team, but what are the odds there? Actually, let me correct myself. ESPN Analytics has Alabama ranked 17th, but gives Bama a 41% chance of making the playoff, which is odd. So it's actually Bama then LSU. But you have LSU in the top 4 with the best percentage odds of making the playoff. The other sort of market that is interesting is Poly Market, which is it's a prediction market where you can hold a position. Just think of it like, I guess would it be similar to Kalshi, like where you hold a position and you can like trade your position and odds can fluctuate. And it's a consumer-driven market. There's no house, effectively, is how it works. And so it's just another way kind of to consider analytics and what things are saying. So with the percentage odds of winning the SEC, so Georgia has the best odds to win the league at 24%, followed by Texas at 23%. So I think it's so interesting because we could bemoan the way the media voted last week, and I get it, the media is never right. But the media, Vegas, prediction markets, they're all saying the same thing. And I think as we push off from the dock of the season, the thing that we probably can universally accept is true, number one, is that Texas has the most talented roster in the league. I didn't say the best. I didn't say most complete. I didn't say they're guaranteed to get in. What I said is Texas has the best roster. I think they have the most talented on their roster in the Southeastern Conference. And Georgia has the combination of best roster, easiest schedule, which is why everyone is just sort of assuming Georgia's going to be in the SEC championship game and by extension in the college football playoff. And so after Texas, Georgia, it's like, all right, well, who's next? Well, the prediction markets have Bama 3 and LSU 4, same as the ESPN analytics. Now, the interesting thing is that they have LSU 4th at 9%, actually tied with A&M at 9%. So it kind of feels, and then Ole Miss, Oklahoma, and then the rest after that. So you're kind of getting a little bit of a sense of where all of these things fall. But the other part of it that's fascinating, that's to win the SEC. But if you look at the national championship odds, Polymarket has Ohio State at 12%. I know this is a lot of numbers, but Ohio State and Notre Dame are both tied at 12% with the best chance of winning the championship. Georgia's next at 11%, then Oregon at 10%, Miami, Indiana at 8%, then LSU, 5% chance with the 8th best odds, and actually third among SEC schools behind only Texas and Georgia. So I guess my point is, if you're bullish on LSU to make the postseason, to be one of the 4 best teams in the SEC, there's a lot of objective data that is supporting that idea. It's why I like talking about this sort of stuff. It's not just what did media member X project, or who does Nick Saban think is going to make the playoff? I mean, certainly he's Nick Saban, and that's all, but everyone has an inherent bias. Data isn't bias; it's just objective numbers. So I try to look through it and say, okay, what is this? What are the consistencies we start to see in objective data from the odds makers to the prediction markets to ESPN analytics and other algorithmic data? Are there consistencies? And what you're starting to see consistently, Texas, Georgia's everybody's 1-2, but LSU generally in all of these is still in the top 4, which would lead you to believe LSU, if they're top 4 in the SEC, very likely would make the college football playoff. Now, you can't win the championship if you're not in. Seems like, man, if you're holding the ticket on LSU to get into the 12-team playoff, it might be a pretty intriguing bet with good odds right now. All right, it's after further review. We're brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. LMFJ.com. LMFJ.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Gents, if you're thinking of popping the question, Lee Michaels, they've helped Louisianians get engaged now for 40 years. Thrill her with a gift in the red box. Maybe you've been there, done that. Maybe you got an anniversary coming up. Maybe you're celebrating a birthday. Maybe it's a graduation, a promotion, some other significant life event. Lee Michaels would love to help you celebrate. Thrill her with a gift in the red box from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Or ladies, maybe you're buying for the man in your life. They have beautiful watches, other timepieces, elegant pens, so many great options. You can shop them online at lmfj.com, lmfj.com, with 9 locations, 2 in Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Lafayette, Shreveport. They're near you. They have a great selection. If they don't have what you want, they'll find it. They can't find it, they'll make it. It's Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. All right, y'all, it's after further review. Thanks for hanging out with us here about halfway home on this Monday edition of AFR. The football Tigers report for camp tomorrow in about 90 minutes from right now. The meeting at the governor's mansion with the governor, LSU President Wade Roos, and the top 40 donors who were invited to that meeting. That's happening at 6 o'clock tonight at the governor's mansion. So we'll have some, I'm certain something come out about that after the meeting tonight or certainly tomorrow. We'll see if we can find out more for you, but a pretty significant day. But we will step aside briefly. And when we come back, Joe Doyle is going to jump aboard with us. Great baseball scout and analyst. And I want to get his perspective on Logan Schmidt's decision to show up on campus at LSU, but also what LSU is getting in that prospect. So we'll talk about it next. Stay here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Men, if you want to feel your best, our friends over at Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness can help. Yes, ED treatments is part of what they do. They got a plethora of different treatments, not just the little blue pill. They got all different types of stuff. But it's so much more than just ED treatments. Hormone replacement therapy. I love that the stigma around HRT is gone. Like, men are openly talking about it, which is a great thing. Listen, every single one of us, as we age, no one is exempt. Every one of us, as we age, our body produces less of the hormones that contribute to how we feel. A simple blood test. I mean, just like a vial of blood sent off to the lab. They'll run your labs, and they'll let you know if you're a candidate for HRT. I say this often because it's so true. I know I lived it. So often you don't know how bad you feel until you start feeling good again. So start feeling good again. Take back control. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness can help. Lowest prices, never any contracts. YourGoodwood.com. They got peptide therapy too. YourGoodwood.com.
At Parrish, we take pride in building roofs that last. Because in Louisiana, toughness isn't just on the court, it's in your home too.
Parrish Construction and Roofing. ParrishBuilt.com.
At Parrish, we take pride in building roofs that last. Because championships are built on commitment, not just on the floor or the court, but your home too.
Parrish Construction and Roofing. ParrishBuilt.com.
People think it's all about game day.
Let's go!
But the real work happens in the off season.
Spring practices, early lifts,
Extra reps. And we need a healthcare team that works as hard as we do.
At FMOL Health, our lay of the lake, we take care of LSU football year-round.
So we can do what we do best. We trust the lake.
From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
It's August 3rd, and we're talking SEC baseball, LSU baseball. That would tell you the significance of what happened over the weekend with Logan Schmidt announcing that he will, in fact, show up on campus and spend 3 years in Baton Rouge. We'll get some perspective, some national perspective. Joe Doyle, our buddy from Overslot Baseball, is good enough to join us here for a couple of minutes. Hey, Joe, thanks for the time, man. How are you?
What's up, guys? Good to talk again.
It's always our pleasure. Give me some sense of where you fall on level of surprise with Logan Schmidt deciding he's going to spend, if I can go back to draft day, right, to now, Logan Schmidt spending 3 years on LSU's campus.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty surprised. Usually you don't see a team select a guy in the second round and not know what his number is going to be to sign him. And the whole thing just smells a little funky from a national perspective. I don't know. The Guardians knew, they had to have known that they were going to come in far, far under what Logan Schmidt was expecting to make and to sign for in that draft. And there was some strange happenings that happened surrounding Logan Schmidt and some uncertainty over the last 3 or 4 weeks leading up to the draft that kind of made his signing demands in question, and nobody really know what was going to happen. But I can tell you one thing: $1.7 million was never going to get it done. So for him to be at LSU, for him not to be a Cleveland Guardian, certainly surprising, and for him not to be a professional baseball player at this stage is remarkably surprising.
When you said something was a little funky, like, what do you think? Do you think something was sort of nefarious? Like, what do you think there? What are you thinking?
I think it's one of those things, and I don't have this on any sources or anything, but the 2027 draft looks as though it's going to be stronger than the 2026 draft was. And if you're the Cleveland Guardians and you can go to Logan Schmidt and his representation and you can offer him 75% of the slot at pick 59 and he turns it down, you are going to receive the number 60 pick in the 2027 draft. And so I'm not saying that's what happened, but that's the mechanism of the draft. And maybe the Guardians wanted to stack some chips for 2027 for next year. So I've talked to a couple of people. I've talked to multiple people. There was not conversations that had taken place, at least in earnest, between Cleveland and Logan Schmidt leading up to that pick. His number had not come down anywhere close to 1.7 million leading up to that selection. And so either the Guardians attempted to force Logan Schmidt to say no, which he ended up doing, or perhaps there was something nefarious here where Cleveland was looking to the future.
Well, it's to LSU's great benefit. As best you know or have heard, what were those conversations like with Jay Johnson and Logan Schmidt, or have you heard? How seriously did he consider JUCO and jumping back in the draft next year?
No, I mean he certainly kicked the tires on the JUCO thing. This isn't to say that Logan didn't want to go to Baton Rouge, didn't want to go to LSU, because I think he really, really wants to be there. I think he's really looking forward to being a Tiger and competing at the highest level. But I also know Logan. I know the people that he surrounds himself with. I know his expectations of himself. I know the reasons why he reclassified from 27 into 26 in the first place. This is a guy that wants to play professional baseball. He wants to take his game to the highest level. And so, you look at the 2027 draft, you look that it's a little bit stronger than 2026. You look at the fact that I think Jacob Misiorowski is the only guy, and we're talking about a Cy Young candidate there, is the only guy to get close to $2 million out of the JUCO ranks. I just think the avenue toward Logan Schmidt getting the number that he wants after just 1 year in junior college was a pretty narrow one. And so the decision to go to LSU, elevate his profile, prove it in the SEC, I think it was a slam dunk. It was the thing that he needed to do, and I'm glad he did it.
Well, let's talk about the prospect. Joe Doyle is with us at Joe Doyle MILB, overslotbaseball.com, overslotbaseball.com. So what type of prospect are the Tigers getting? Give us the thumbnail report there.
Yeah, I mean, he's SEC ready. He's big kid, 6'4", I want to say, 220 pounds. He's built for long innings. He's built for, the SEC and the demands of pitching in big spots. He's a strike thrower, which I think cannot be said enough. You see a lot of these big arms that make it to the SEC or make it to the ACC, and everyone talks about, it's 96, 97, and big breaking ball, and sometimes they don't throw strikes. I mean, you look at how long it's taken William Schmidt to arrive into Baton Rouge and to polish up his game and become the starting pitcher that he is. It's not automatic. I don't think you're going to see that transition period with Logan Schmidt. 4 pitches, fastball up to 98. He'll live 94 to 96. There's carry on it. There's some late hop. Changeup is really good. I think it's his best secondary. Curveball and slider have come a long way since 2025. Now they're both probably average offerings. They'll flash a little bit better than that at times. So I think you're talking about a guy that is big, is left-handed, has 4 pitches, is going to throw strikes, has big velocity, and that's certainly worth something in the SEC. I would be surprised if Logan Schmidt isn't an immediate candidate to start midweeks for the Tigers right out of the gate.
What about improvement? Where would you say short and long term he needs to improve the most?
Yeah, short term, if he's going to get Friday night outs in a consistent way is going to be the breaking ball. He's got to throw a firmer breaking ball with sharper break. He's got to improve his execution of that, both against right-handers to the back foot and against left-handers sweeping it away to the glove side. Right now, he is primarily going to find his success with fastball, curveball, changeup, and kind of keeping folks off balance. I think if he can develop, an 85 to 87 mile an hour slider, cutter, maybe an 89 mile an hour cutter that can kind of keep left-handers off the barrel, I think that's kind of his next step. That's going to be where he can take his game to the next level. So I've seen some dialogue online, people asking whether or not Schmidt is a bigger get than William Schmidt was back in 2025. I personally think William Schmidt had bigger pure stuff at the time that he arrived on campus. But if you're looking for polish and you're looking for left-handedness, which is really difficult to find, Logan Schmidt checks those boxes.
I had one scout tell me that, like, at its best case, this is like David Price showing up to Vanderbilt for 3 years. If I asked you ceiling, what does that look like over the next 3 years?
In terms of his ceiling, I don't see the David Price archetype as much, just because Logan Schmidt is pretty physically mature at this point. He doesn't have a lot of growing to do in front of him, right? Like, this is a kid that's 94 to 96, touching 98. You don't look at Logan Schmidt and go, he's going to sit 96 to 99 and be holding 100, right? What you see is what you get with Logan Schmidt. He's tried and true. He's ready to rock and roll. I think as it stands right now, if you remember, John Lester in the big leagues was just such a polished left-handed pitcher that could throw 4 pitches for strikes. He could sneak it by guys with fastball velocity, even though the shape wasn't dynamic. Like, that's more of the type of pitcher that I think Logan Schmidt's going to be. He's not going to bully guys as much as, David Price did, pitching in on their knuckles and just intimidating folks. Price also had some angles to him and some deception to him. I think Schmidt is a little bit more, here it is, try and hit it, and then I'm going to, make you look stupid with the changeup and flip over a curveball to put you away. So, it's kind of hard to compare him to John Lester, in that Lester pitched for 15 years and won, World Series MVP awards and everything. But you remember Lester as not being the guy that was super overpowering, but just really a craftsman. And I think that's kind of what Logan Schmidt could become.
Can Schmidt throw the ball to first base?
Schmidt could throw the ball to first base. Yeah, he's going to be able to hold runners. And that's another nice thing, man. Like, having a left-handed pitcher in your rotation in the SEC is just so important. You see what Cade Anderson did for LSU for 2 years. Guys weren't running on Cade Anderson, and I don't think guys are going to run on Logan Schmidt either.
For those that don't get the joke, John Lester had like a mental block late in his career where he struggled to make the throw to first base. Man, there's a lot of people here that are really excited about the Logan Schmidt news, and we'll get a look at him when he's here for fall ball. Joe Doyle, at Joe Doyle MILB is where you can follow him on X, at Joe Doyle MILB. Make sure you check out overslotbaseball.com. Check out the pod as well. And man, we appreciate it. Thanks so much for making some time as always.
All right, guys. We'll see you.
Yep, it's our pleasure. It's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Hancock Whitney. HancockWhitney.com/Matt. HancockWhitney.com/Matt. Honest to goodness, when I was just in the break there, I was looking through messages, and I got one from a listener who said, Matt, can you share the link for Hancock Whitney, the offer you were sharing last week on radio? He's like, I searched Hancock/Matt, couldn't find anywhere close to what you were talking about. Okay, because it's HancockWhitney.com/Matt. So make sure you spell it all the way out. Thank you for the clarification, so I can make sure I'm very, very direct there. HancockWhitney.com/Matt. That's the custom URL they gave us, HancockWhitney.com/Matt. And you can get up to $600 right now after opening a freestyle checking and freestyle savings account and meeting certain requirements when you go to HancockWhitney.com/Matt. Now, minimum deposit, account opening balance, and other requirements apply. So learn more at HancockWhitney.com, member FDIC. I have to say that to make it legal. But again, you can get up to $600 in your account for opening up open up freestyle checking, freestyle savings at HancockWhitney.com/Matt. They're my bank. They have been forever. I got my own Saints debit card. You want a Saints or LSU debit card, you can get it from Hancock Whitney. the official banking partner of the New Orleans Saints, the official banking partner of the LSU Tigers. HancockWhitney.com/Matt. All right, it's after further review. Thanks to Joe Doyle for spending a couple of minutes with us. We appreciate that. Ross Jackson will be here in 17 minutes, top of the hour. As long as the Saints are in training camp, when they're on the field, Ross will jump aboard with us, kind of give us a Saints training camp report. If you want to get the written version, you can get it for free over at LouisianaSports.net. Let me knock out a quick break. Muse will do Tigers and the Pros when we come back. Interesting here at the MLB trade deadline. There's already been 3 former Tigers who have moved here approaching the deadline. We'll get to all that as we continue. And more quarterback talk as we approach 6 o'clock. So stay with us here on AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Clegg's Nursery with 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Seaganeer Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Tell you every day to buy local and shop local when you get by and see our friends at Clegg's Nursery. I get asked all the time by people who have a pool or live near water, and they're like, man, I hear you talk about the mosquito thing all the time. What is it? Well, it's called the Aeon Mosquito Barrier. Just even if you literally just go to Clegg's and say, what's the mosquito thing that Moscona talks about? Like, they will know. It's easy. It's 2 tubes the size of a track baton. You take the top off. It's got granules in there. You just fill it with water to the fill line, shake it up, put the top back on, hang it on your property line. You're done with mosquitoes for 90 days at a time. They got them at Clegg's Nursery. Also, I mean, beautiful flowers like these lantanas are amazing. You can check these out over at Clegg's Nursery. They just have such an amazing selection of beautiful flowers and plants and trees and shrubs. You know what to do. Buy local, shop local at Clegg's Nursery.
Every Raising Cane's chicken finger is marinated, battered by hand, and cooked to order to perfection. We don't have heat lamps, because when you make it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Eagle 98.1, the rock station. Home of the Woody Show in the morning. Scotty Mack with Rock at Work. Michelle Southern with Southern Rock. Home of LSU sports since 1998. And rock for Baton Rouge since 1985. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. To join our VIP fan club, text ROCK to 225-499-9898. Eagle 98.1, the rock station.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number 1 product's always customer satisfaction. Come visit us at reliefwindows.com. By the way, we do shutters too.
People think it's all about game day, but the real work happens in the off season. And we need a healthcare team that works as hard as we do.
At FML Health, our Lay of the Lake, we take care of LSU football year-round.
We trust the lake.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
Dinner tonight? How about Amigo Al's? Of course, from Brandon and Mackenzie Landry, who bring you Supper Club, where I'll actually be going to Supper Club tonight for that whiskey tasting event. But Amigo Al's on Highway 30 in St. Gabriel. So it's Nicholson. If you're going south on Nicholson, you pass U Club, quarter mile on the left. You can't miss it. Just look for the yellow truck. Amigo Al's, awesome. By the way, and it's sort of like, it's elevated, but it's friendly. Like, if you want to go in work boots or after a ball game, you can do that. You want to go on a date night? Awesome as well. They also have the third-party delivery, so Uber Eats, DoorDash, all that stuff. If you don't want to get to Amigo Al's but have it delivered to you, you can do it. Go to any of those apps, and you can get it. But if you go in, ask for the key lime pie. It's off menu. If you know, you know. But they do not have it every day. But when you go to Amigo Al's, ask for the key lime pie. Just trust me, Amigo Al's.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and we do shutters too.
So we went to, told you we went to New Orleans this weekend. We did every year for Erica's birthday. She and her best friend are born a week apart. So we just do a couple trip, the four of us. We spend the day in New Orleans. We do lunch. By the way, big shout out to Mr. Scott Craig, longtime listener of the show. He owns Katie's in Mid-City, which if you're familiar, if you're not, you need to go find. It's my first time going. I've talked to Scott for years, but we had never met. I got to meet Saturday at Katie's, which was awesome. And Katie's is a great spot right there in Mid-City. Great food. My goodness. I had some piece of redfish with some crab meat on top. It was, oh, my God. It was amazing. But anyway, they also have, like, oysters Schlesinger, named after former UNO basketball coach Mark Schlesinger. He kind of told me the stories. Like, they were eating char grills one day, and Schlesh was like, this needs some type of, like, creamy sauce on top. So Scott went and made some thing, put it on. He goes, yeah, it needs bacon, too. And so, so if you get oysters Schlesinger, that's the story. They're amazing. Get them. But, anyway, so we went to Katie's, and then we sort of bar hopped a little bit, which, of course, that's what you're going to do in New Orleans.
New Orleans, I was about to say, you didn't really go to New Orleans if you didn't bar hop.
It was a beautiful day. We went to Chandelier Bar, and went to the Carousel Bar, and we hung out. Then we went to dinner, went to Commander's, had an awesome time. But by the time dinner was over, it had been a long day, if you know what I mean. So it's a true story about me getting the Evermore. Actually, I didn't get it. Denane, our friend, went into one of the stores on Canal, popped in, and they were going. I don't know what they were going to get. But I was like, give me a water. And so they came out with a 64-ounce Evermore. Well, Bill sent me a text and said, OMG, if you had to get a big bottle of water of any kind, much less Evermore, to stay hydrated after eating dinner, there's something wrong with you, perhaps psychologically. This says Bill is 77 years old. Bill, my guess is 77, you lived a long life. Congrats on that. That's amazing. But my guess is, Bill, you've probably had a day like I had on Saturday when you need a bottle, you need a big bottle of water, fam. The most important thing to do, though, remember, is to stay hydrated. Just mix them in throughout the day, right? That's probably the best way to go about doing it. But sometimes, as they say, the best laid plans of mice and men often go awry. We had a great time, though. And shout out to Scott Craig over at Katie's. Y'all go if you go to Katie's in Mid-City, pop in, ask for Scott, tell him Scone sent you in. They'll take great care of you. Great spot. We appreciate the hospitality this weekend. All right, Musu, Tigers in the Pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
Heavy LSU flavor to the MLB trade deadline here this year. We'll go back pre-deadline over the weekend. The Cubs acquired Kevin Gausman from the Toronto Blue Jays. Gausman brings to the Cubs a 4.3 ERA and a 5-10 record, but I mean, he was the opening day starter for Toronto. It's a big starting pitching piece for the Cubs that they just picked up, and Gausman is going to a team with playoff aspirations this season. Continuing with the Blue Jays acquired former LSU infielder Josh Schmidt in a trade with the Texas Rangers. Smith, they can have him for a while here, potentially. Smith holds just under $1 million in salary through 2026 and then 2 more arbitration years through 2028 for the Blue Jays as well. So he could get pretty comfortable up there in Toronto. And then, of course, the most recent one, Anthony Ianson was the linchpin, the centerpiece of the deal that sent Adley Rutschman from Baltimore to the Red Sox. So Ianson, now a member of the Baltimore Orioles, 4-0, 1.32 ERA in AA so far this year. He struck out 94 in 68 in the third innings. It's a big get there for the Orioles. Grant Taylor threw an inning and 2/3 shutout ball for the White Sox in their win yesterday over the Rays. Punched out one, didn't walk anybody as well. He's been fantastic so far this season. Man, it was really rough outing for Gage Jump yesterday. 6 earned and 3 2/3 with 6 walks. Took the loss, the 7th of the season, but brighter days are ahead. Tommy White wore the collar in that one. How about Jake Brown? First professional hit over the weekend, man, for Jake Brown. It was a single. He went 1 for 3 in the ballgame, scored a run, drew a walk, also punched out. He is with the Inland Empire 66ers, single-A affiliate of the Seattle Mariners. But he's on the board, 333 average there for Brown.
Let's go.
Nice hit, too, man. Opposite way to, a pull side, just dropped right in front of the center fielder and left, oh, man.
Muse.
He dropped it right in front of the center fielder in right center field.
Take a breath.
That was
Take a breath. Don't talk. Take a breath. Clear the mechanism. brain before mouth.
Yeah.
Speak.
It was a beautiful hit, single, pull side, dropped it right in front of the center fielder in the right center field gap.
Beautifully done. There it is.
Really nice swing. Really nice swing for Jake Brown, man.
But it's 453, which actually explains a lot, if you know what I mean.
About
now, right? Am I right?
Over the weekend.
Am I right?
Over the weekend? No.
Panama Red.
Over the weekend, Bear Jones, 2-homer day as well. How about that?
Puffing the Magic.
He's up to 14 homers so far this season in high A Greensboro Grasshoppers.
Denny was puffing the Magic Dragon.
That's Tigers in the pros.
Presented by Arco Power Systems. A-R-C-C-O. Hey, wait, Cassie, you have to do this. It's a rule. Ready? A-R-C-C-O, 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 and Arco is their name. Oh, nobody over there has commented yet.
It's doing its job. That's why. People are calling Arco.
I'm just waiting to get a call. Like, hey, man, we appreciate the enthusiasm. We love working with you. The little song, though, has got to stop. It's going to come eventually.
It's so memorable.
It really is. Turns out I am pretty good after doing roughly 10 million live reads in my life and knowing what might stick. Anyway, Arco Power Systems, they're awesome. Local company, but they service the entire Gulf South. This is Generac Industrial Generator Power. You need a standby generator for your business? That's Arco. Arco.com, Arco.com. Everything's turnkey. Sell, service, install, rent your Generac Industrial generator. Arco.com, Arco.com. A-R-C-C-O, Arco.com. Okay, y'all. Quick break. Get you caught up on national headlines with Sports Center, which is right around the bend. Then Ross Jackson's here to give you Saints camp report from day 5. And an updated point spread value for college football quarterbacks. You'll hear it next. It's AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen Airline, just north of Highland. SouthPointVW.com. SouthPointVW.com. New and certified pre-owned. That's what you'll find over at South Point Volkswagen. And every vehicle, remember, if it's on the lot, it's online at South Point Volkswagen, which means you go to the website, you can hit the new or used tab at the top, see the drop down, and then you could search whatever, year, make, model, body, style, price, search it all right there. If it's on the lot, it's online. You can also work out your financing online. The average car buyer visits 1.2 dealerships now before making a purchase. You know, it used to be where you'd go and you drive around and you test drive and you'd haggle and you do 5 different dealerships. Not anymore, because everybody shops online and then you go buy your car. You go pick up your car. So shop them online at SouthPointVW.com and go see my friends at South Point Volkswagen. They're great at buying atmosphere. They got a great friendly staff and the best selection. Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer, South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction?
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
The Ascension Parish Sheriff's Office protects and serves over 132,000 residents across the parish.
Keeping our community safe is our mission, and Rev Fiber plays a critical role in how we respond. Whether it's training in our special divisions, forensics investigations, or fielding emergency calls in our operations center, Rev Business connects our teams in real time, which is why we partner with Rev Business.
Get 6 months free of Rev Business services. Call or click today.
People think it's all about game day. Let's go! But the real work happens in the off season.
Spring practices, early lifts,
extra reps. And we need a healthcare team that works as hard as we do.
At FMOL Health, our lay of the lake, we take care of LSU football year-round.
So we can do what we do best. We trust the lake.
From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
Community sailing is all about getting people in the New Orleans area out on boats, out on Lake Pontchartrain. Gulf Coast Bank helps us provide opportunities to get folks out who might not otherwise have the financial means to come sailing. Auctions in August is an online fundraiser that helps nonprofits like us service the community. Bidding through Auctions in August is a lot of fun because there's so many different items. There's something for everyone, so you're sure to find something that relates directly to you that you'll enjoy bidding on, and you get to help out the community.
This is SportsCenter. I'm Nick DeLuca. Pencils down. Deals still trickling in at the baseball trade deadline. Another starter getting moved. The Guardians acquiring Foster Griffin from the Nationals was an all-star for the first time this season as a 3.06 ERA in 22 starts this year. Guardians also getting Nathaniel Lowe in a trade with the Reds. The D-backs making a late trade, acquiring outfielder Lars Nootbaar from the Cardinals, has a .688 OPS in 48 games this year. OPS over 750 in 3 of his 6 seasons in St. Louis. The Twins are trading for Blue Jays reliever Jeff Hoffman as a .394 ERA with 75 strikeouts in 48 innings this season. Just in, Kirby Yates being acquired by the Pirates. The Yankees are acquiring outfielder Elliot Ramos from the Giants. Ramos an all-star in 2024, while Casey Mize has just been dealt to the Padres. Best remaining starter on the market, headlining the Detroit rotation, now headed to San Diego, who also got Robbie Ray earlier this afternoon.
If you run a small business, you've got to try Gusto. Get unlimited payroll runs and get your payroll taxes filed automatically. Offer health insurance, 401k, and more. Get started for free at gusto.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
That's right.
Hour 3. Off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Cassie Spazette.
Look what you made me do. Look what you made me do.
Mute her. And Mr. Toby Tom play. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. If Ross is going to keep coming on with us at the top of the hour to do the Saints camp reports, we got to get a drop for Ross.
All right, we can get a drop for Ross.
My first thought is like pivot.
Yeah,
maybe
I mean, that makes sense. Yeah, my first thought was Friends, but I mean that's great. Yeah, pivot's great.
Is there any more famous Friends line?
We were on a break is the other thing I'd say with Ross.
Cassie, you want to vote?
I think that one's probably the most like.
Which one?
memorable.
Pivot or
we were on a break.
We're on a
Ooh,
break?
Pivot would be good.
Pivot would be good.
Did you not
too.
just hear me yell pivot?
I couldn't really tell what you said.
Like, what did you think I was saying?
I don't know.
Pivot or all right? Well, let's ask Ross. Ross Jackson, LouisianaSports.net, Locked On Saints. Yo, dude, how are you?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me. I'm excited about this.
Well, you were excited about the Open, the energy from the Open when you were here Friday, I think, whatever day it was last week.
Yeah.
And so we got to get you a drop. So do you want to pick it?
Well, I love the idea of pivot. I think that's a really good one. There's unagi is a really good one too, from Friends. And then another good one from there would be they don't know that we know that they know we know.
That's probably
a super fun one. But I like pivot.
Okay.
It's quick.
That's my
punchy.
My first reaction. It turns out I'm really good at this. That's how Muse's Barbie Girl stuck. But the way he got his drop, Ross, is I asked him, I said, all right, Muse, you get a drop. What do you want it to be? He goes, I don't care. So I just thought, okay, what's the worst, most embarrassing thing in the world I could possibly think of? So I said, Barbie Girl by Aqua. And he goes, no. I was like, no, you don't care. That's it.
You didn't care.
And it actually has really worked because it stuck. People probably ask him more about that than anything except for him being a pothead. Right, Muse? Is that about right?
Nobody asked me about being a pothead. Nobody asked me.
Well, that just changed today.
Not you two, Ross.
Look, this is how it works, man. You can't come on here and say no one asked me about being a pothead.
Yeah.
Now everyone's going to ask you about being a pothead.
That's so true.
It's not a me thing. It's just the way it works.
So and you don't have to have a Ross Friends drop. It could be anything you want it to be. Like, what do you want your drop to be? If you could have something else. But if you want pivot, we could do that.
Yeah, no, I like pivot. And I love the Friends connection. Love that show. I mean, the only other thing that would work, actually, for me would be the sound of Jazzy Jeff getting thrown out of the house. That would also be
okay, we're going to workshop it because we're in the middle of camp and we got plenty more to do, so we're going to workshop it. Okay. Muse. I expect to have this tomorrow, okay, when Ross is here. Or you can get it by the end of the segment.
The Saints are off tomorrow. But I mean,
damn it!
So Ross will be back with us Wednesday.
All right, Wednesday.
Yeah, but it just means you got time.
You'll need it.
Pothead.
Okay. Give me a reaction to Jalen Polk retiring. Did you see this coming?
No, not at all. This was insane. It was such a random one. And hey, look, the Saints are no stranger to random retirements. Everyone from Kiko Alonso showing up for one day of camp to Dallin Holker retiring going into his second year. It's not something that they haven't experienced before, but this one was really out of nowhere, right? We had that exclusive that we ran over at LouisianaSports.net conversation with Jalen where he was talking about how excited he was, the opportunity ahead, the Saints kind of betting on him, how he wanted to prove them right. He went out to San Diego with Tyler Shuck and the other guys that went out there to work out with Drew Brees. Everything up until the retirement was pointing to the idea that he was completely, ready to go and all this. So I assume personal decision, it's kind of a decision that Kellen Moore confirmed today was made out of, what would be best for him moving forward. So I assume something changed probably for him away from football, but I'm speculating around it. But, we'll see what we learn. But very, very surprising because it seemed that everything was headed towards not only him getting an opportunity here to earn a role, but it looked like he was going to get that role going into 2026.
So who benefits the most from Polk's retirement?
I think it's really the rookies, even though they were probably already set up for opportunities to make the roster anyway, Bryce Lance and Barryon Brown, but they're seeing so much more exposure now with both Mason Tipton as well as Jalen Polk now not a part of the rotation. So they're all of a sudden getting into these, big-time, high-flying second, first-team reps with Spencer Rattler and Tyler Shuck, and they're taking full advantage of those. Now, there are some of the other guys that move up, like Trey Palmer, who's really taken advantage of the volume of chances that he's been given. Same thing for Bub Means. He's gotten a lot of opportunities out there as well. So those guys are going to get a chance to try to convince the Saints to keep six around in terms of the number of wide receivers. But as of right now, the Saints could easily walk into the 2026 season with just 5 wide receivers in Chris Olave, Devon Vele, and their 3 rookies led by Jordan Tyson. And so now it's just a little bit of a different ballgame to where instead of there being a 6 wide receiver spot assumed because of the investment that the Saints made in Jalen Polk, that assumption's not necessarily there. And so they've got to convince the team to keep a 6th player on that active roster. Otherwise, they're battling for the practice squad.
Ross Jackson, at Ross Jackson NOLA, is with us, Saints Camp Report. Okay, so today was the first day in pads. What was different?
Offense was really, really on point today and really kind of started to find its rhythm, which usually – you get a strong start by the defense in camp. The offense starts to close the gap a little bit. The pads come on and the defense kind of takes back over. So this was a little bit out of the ordinary rhythm for what we're used to seeing, but it felt like the Saints and especially Tyler Shuck's portion of the offense with the first team. Felt like the Saints offense really finally got their feet under them, won some balls downfield. The run game started to come together quite a bit more with pads going on as well. So the physicality ticked up for the offensive line there. So I think the biggest difference with pads going on was that the offense kind of found its footing.
I also noticed, we keep asking about this, but one thing you reminded me before camp that is a battle we need to watch is the place kicker battle. So how did that go today?
Yeah, so Charlie Smith was back up for his third session, and then so the next practice, Tanner Brown will go up again. And so Charlie Smith had kicks from extra point distance out to 54 yards. This is the first time the Saints have gone beyond 50 yards on attempts so far. He made 4 of his 5 attempts with a miss from 44, got a chance to re-kick that 44-yarder and was able to make it. And so, had otherwise up to 54 yards was good. So he's sitting now at 14 of 15 all of his first chances, 1 for 1 on re-kicks. And that matches where Tanner Brown is in terms of cadence with who's 9 of 10. He has 1 miss and then got an opportunity to re-kick. The difference of the misses was 44 yards from Charlie Smith and extra point distance for Tanner Brown in his first kick again.
Defensively, Isaac Yiadom and Danny Stutzman got some first-team reps?
Yeah, those guys got their opportunity to get involved in the first team a little bit. We saw Quincy Riley go down to the second team for a full series. We saw Pete Werner just kind of sit on the sideline for a couple of plays while Danny Stutzman got his first-team reps. Kellen Moore was asked about that after practice. This is just kind of part of what they like to do, of getting those guys some additional exposure and some opportunities with the first team. You got to imagine Danny Stutzman's role from last year, where he was not starting games, but he was on the field for the third series in each half. You got to imagine that role is going to grow. So you want to get him some reps with the rest of those first team defensive guys. And then, Yiadom's been a longtime starter in the NFL and is their key backup. So getting him some reps opposite Kool-Aid McKinstry after he got a few reps opposite Quincy Riley while McKinstry was sidelined for a day just kind of evens and balances some things out. And so I think that's a little bit of them managing snaps, but also just getting those guys some of that exposure to being within that first unit.
I know it's early, but we always look at whatever UDFAs might be out there flashing a little bit, looking to make a team. Anybody catching your eye so far through 5 days?
Yeah, there's one. I'm really curious what your thought on this is going to be, actually, because I know Camp Darlings aren't necessarily your favorite, but a UDFA guy on the defensive side, usually a little bit of a different story. And Michael Heldman's been really, really fun to watch, the edge rusher out of Chattanooga. And he just consistently makes plays. Now, he's making these plays with the third team, of course, so we have to keep everything in context. But he's somebody that is winning around the edge. He's winning with some bull rush moves. He's been able to get some interior pressure as well. And so he's kind of got this really interesting built-out arsenal of pass rush moves already that usually you don't see for an undrafted free agent coming in. But this is a guy that also had, double-digit sacks, double-digit tackles for a loss last year. And so I think he's kind of been the UDFA standout with no UDFA wide receiver in the mix this year outside of Brock Rechsteiner. Not really a lot of guys getting those opportunities right now to kind of show up the way that they have in previous camps. But this time, instead, you're seeing it over the defensive side.
Ross Jackson, at Ross Jackson NOLA. You can read him for free at LouisianaSports.net. Listen or watch for free Locked On Saints podcast, YouTube. All different types of ways you can get Ross. I did it for you. All right, we will have your drop for you on Wednesday. So don't screw it up. Not talking to you. I'm talking to Muse.
Yeah, okay, that sounds good. I'll make sure I don't screw it up too, though. I don't want to talk over it.
Well, no, we won't bring the phone pot live until after.
So you're gonna have my back.
Yeah. We got this. Hey, look, this ain't my first rodeo. All right,
it's a very, very supportive crew.
Thank you, Ross. We appreciate it. We'll do it again Wednesday.
Absolutely. Thank you, bud. You take care. Stay safe. Talk to you soon.
See ya. That is Ross Jackson. It's After Further Review. We're brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center. You want to see 2020? Call 924-2020. School kicking off for those kiddos. Make sure that you bring your son or your daughter to the Williamson Eye Center. Get their eye exam. Do your annual eye exam. You too, adults. You should always have your annual eye exam. You check everything else, right? Don't forget about your eyes. Check your ears and your teeth and your heart, your lungs, and all the stuff to make sure that everything's as it should be. don't neglect your eye care. We always say it, eye care, eyewear, eye surgery. They do all three. Full service over at the Williamson Eye Center. You can do your annual eye exam. If you need to fill a glasses or contacts prescription, they can do it at their optical shop at the Williamson Eye Center. And then also, of course, refractive procedures where you can ditch those contacts and glasses forever. If you're worried about price, they have a really great tool at the website. It's a cost calculator. It'll tell you what the expense would be lifetime wearing contacts and glasses as opposed to if you had a refractive procedure. It'll change your life to be able to wake up in the morning and just see. Start by going for that free consultation. 924-2020, 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com for the Williamson Eye Center. All right, it is After Further Review, y'all. Thanks for hanging out with us here. About 45 minutes from right now is when that donor meeting, the top 40 donors with President Wade Roos and Governor Landry is going to be taking place at the Governor's Mansion. There's one today, and then there's another one on Wednesday. So quick preview of that in about 15 minutes from right now. When we come back, though, it's always interesting. We got Jimmy coming up here for Otter Locks. I always am interested by what Vegas says about a season and players and whatnot. And they've updated, some of the sports books have updated point spread value for quarterbacks. And if you don't know what that means, I'll explain. But I think it's there's an interesting illustration about Tyler Shuck that I'll explain when we come back. Stay here. I'll explain. It's AFR.
After Further Review.
Get Gordon. Get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. If you've been injured in an accident, it's not your fault. Do what injured people in our state have done for 3 decades. Get Gordon and get it done. Of course, saw those the LSU football players taking on that plane to Dallas over the weekend, and it was the big rug at the bottom of the steps was G Air. So yeah, it was Gordon's plane that they took. All's on the up and up, but Gordon's a great supporter of the Tigers and has been his whole life. His family has great ties there with LSU athletics, and not only does Gordon love supporting the Tigers and the student athletes, but giving those great opportunities to deserving young people in all sports, both men's and women's sports, at both the revenue and non-revenue sports, at LSU and other places as well. Bottom line is, Gordon loves to give back to the communities that he serves. He says it all the time, and he lives it every day. So if you've been injured in an accident, you can trust Gordon and his great team to get you what you deserve. Go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com, getgordon.com. Get Gordon and get it done.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
I've been in banking for over 35 years. I usually start about 7:30 in the morning, and I usually leave somewhere around 5, or if customers need me to meet them at their house or their business places, I don't mind going after hours. I have done churches, subdivisions, retail centers, hospitals, and nursing homes. And that's why we chose to live in this community, because of the values First American Bank has, that I can serve my community and my customers.
further review. Presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Kyle on the text line suggested a drop for Ross to use Sorry Miss Jackson by Outkast.
Okay, I get it. Yep. Ross's last name is Jackson. Yep, I get it.
But he's not Miss Jackson.
He's not.
He's not. John Jones just said Ellen Moore and then Pothead.
Ellen Moore.
He sent that at 4:20.
Oh, wow. He was ahead of the game.
He was just noting it was your time, Muse. It was just your time. And then Greg Lehman said, ask Musso, do you have any recommendation on edibles? Looking for a good body high.
I don't, Greg. Sorry.
Why are you so selfish?
I'm not selfish. I have no idea what to tell him about that.
Maybe you just spoke in code. We just don't know it.
No.
Maybe so. Maybe that's just what happened just now. Could be. Jimmy will be here for Otter Locks.
Welcome back, Otter. Love it.
Welcome back, Otter. If you say it real fast, it's like saying welcome back, Otter.
It is.
See?
Look at that.
See what you just did?
Didn't even mean to do it.
I know you didn't. But I was sharp enough to observe it.
So this is, look, it's teamwork right there. That's how it goes.
I don't know if that's what that is.
That's literally what that was.
No.
Yeah. 2 heads are better than 1 type deal. Yeah.
Especially when one head is high as a kite.
No.
Right. Maybe?
No, not even a little bit.
Ben Fawkes is a senior betting analyst. Fawkes, okay? I said Fawkes. That's the man's name. Ben Fawkes. That's his name.
It is his name. He works at Yahoo.
Fawkes. I don't want to hear any complaining. His name is Ben Fawkes.
That's incredible. So good. Like,
what did he say? Scone's going to get fined. No, I'm not. His name is Fawkes.
Oh, Lord.
He's a sports betting analyst at Yahoo. Ben is.
Does a great job, they say.
Of all the Fawkes.
Of all.
He's the greatest. When it comes to sports betting, he gives more than 2 Fawkes.
There it is.
The possibilities are endless.
Does he really?
Get him on the show.
Yeah. We're gonna email Ben. Ben's got to have a weekly piece called "What the Fawkes." Like, what are we doing, man?
I don't know that one works as much.
I kind of like it.
No, because it's pluralized and it has to make sense. Like the giving to Fawkes is what works because it's.
Well, then just take the S off of it.
No, but then that's not his name.
That's true.
That's why the two.
Then it would be even worse, honestly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, Ben
polled
11 odds makers at 10 different legal sportsbook to ask point spread value for every starting quarterback in the NFL above their replacement, their backup. Maybe it'd be appropriate to ask Jimmy about this when he's here, but effectively a point spread value is just what it sounds like. It's what is that player's impact on the spread. And if you don't sports bet, that's fine. I'm not in any way trying to force you or suggest you should, but a lot of people do. But I think the other thing that's maybe even more important is just to understand that the odds makers are really, 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 really good at what they do. And so, Lane Kiffin even said last week at Rotary that he thinks Las Vegas should be used to set the field for the playoff. Like, there's no bias. The only thing they care about is money. They're trying to generate equal action on both sides of a number. Like, that's what Vegas's objective is. So if Josh Allen doesn't play for the Bills and Kyle Allen, his backup, does, what is the point spread value? How does that affect the spread? Well, Josh Allen leads the NFL in point spread value. He's 7.23 points ahead of Kyle Allen, his backup, which basically means if Josh Allen doesn't play for the Bills, you would adjust the spread by 7.2 points, which is a crazy thing in the NFL. But it goes to show you the value of Josh Allen. Patrick Mahomes was 2. By the way, this is so wild as you start to go through all the preseason stuff in camps. You remember who Patrick Mahomes' backup is now? It's Justin Fields. Like the crazy, chaotic, transient nature of sports. Stafford is 3. Drake May is 4. Part of that is, yes, Drake May is good, but his backup is Tommy DeVito. Tommy Cutlass over here. What the Fox? It's his name. Ben Fox. That's his name. Fawkes.
It's his name. Yeah, I mean, it's nothing else.
Lamar Jackson, 5. If you look at the full rankings, the biggest change year over year is Burrow. Burrow went from 5. He dropped down to 12. His backup, by the way, Joe Flacco. Yeah.
I thought I had something I did.
Don't move up to the mic if you don't have something to say.
I thought I had it. It wasn't there, then it left.
It's that time of day, Muse. I get it. Just kick back. Have some Doritos. Justin Herbert, Dak, Jalen Hurts, and Jared Goff tied at 8. And then Jordan Love, that's your top 10. Jaden Daniels, 11. In his backup, of course, is Marcus Mariota, former number 2 overall pick, which is a little surprising to see that disparity. It's a 5-point point spread value difference with Daniels as opposed to Mariota. Then Burrow, so Daniels, Burrow. Caleb Williams, for all the hype on Caleb Williams, he's 13th on this list, and his backup is Tyson Bagent, who the Saints beat in the Dome a couple years ago, if you remember. Trevor Lawrence, Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, 16, Bo Nix, C.J. Stroud, Geno Smith, Brock Purdy. We're at 20, and we haven't even yet got to Tyler Shuck. The Purdy one is interesting, though, because San Francisco paid Purdy, but his backup is Mac Jones, of course, a former first-round pick and played pretty well last year in Purdy's absence. Aaron Rodgers, 21. Malik Willis, still haven't gotten to Tyler Shuck. 23 is Daniel Jones. Kyler Murray is 24. Kyler Murray. Whew. Bryce Young, 25, thank you. There's Tyler Shuck at 26. Followed by Jackson Dart, Cam Ward, Kirk Cousins, Deshaun Watson, Jacoby Brissett, and Tua. That's your list. So, this is a little surprising to me. And I understand with Shuck, you only have a 9-game sample. But we saw Shuck start 9 games last year, and the difference in the offense with Shuck as opposed to Rattler was pretty stark. Now, it's also fair to mention there was a disparity in the competition level. When you're playing the Jets and the Titans and the Dolphins, you're playing the bottom of the NFL when Shuck was out there, and that's when you piled up your wins late in the season when he went 5-4 against a lot of teams in the bottom of the NFL. And again, the numbers are the numbers, and that's the reason it's surprising. And I trust it is because I trust Vegas and odds makers. They're not looking at it through a black and gold prism like I am, very optimistic that Tyler Shuck is going to be the guy, and now you give him weapons on top of the experience he has in another year in the offense, and he's established as the starter, that I think he'll have this sort of trampoline effect and a big bounce this year. But it is surprising to see that small of a gap, just 2.5 points difference between Shuck and Rattler, less than a field goal difference between the two. But it feels so much greater than that. I'll be fascinated to see what that number may look like next year, because I do think Tyler Shuck is going to have, against a last place schedule, because the Saints were last in the division. They're playing the second easiest schedule in the NFL by opponent's win-loss record of a season ago. Shuck has the 9 games as the starter, now the full offseason, entrenched as the starter, not trying to win the job. And you've given him on top of Olave, Travis Etienne and Jordan Tyson and Barron Brown and Bryce Lance, and you drafted Oscar Delp, and you signed Noah Fant, and Juwan Johnson's back, and you got a healthy offensive line, and you bring in David Edwards. Like, all of those things point to the Saints being a demonstrably better offense this year But right now, Vegas don't think a whole lot of Tyler Shuck. And I think it's just good perspective from a starting point to say, all right, we're excited. They feel like there's still a lot to prove for Tyler Shuck, and they may not be wrong, but looking forward to watching him this season, see if he can. All right, it's After Further Review. Thanks for hanging out with us here. Want to remind you about Parish Construction and Roofing, parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Do business with someone you know. That's me and Terrio and Tilly and our whole staff, and our new partner, Pro Football Hall of Fame electee and soon-to-be inductee, the one and only Drew Brees, of course, joined our team over at Parish Construction and Roofing. We're fired up for Drew. He'll be enshrined in the Pro Football Hall of Fame this weekend, and we'll certainly be celebrating him all week over at Parish Construction and Roofing and on our socials and everywhere. So we're super grateful to have Drew as one of our partners. And look, if Drew Brees trusted us enough to be a partner with us at Parish Construction and Roofing, you can as well. Parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com, roof repairs, roof replacements, commercial, residential. We do gutters. We do soft wash. We can soft wash your home, your roof. We've soft washed the LSU out basketball practice facility. We soft washed Mike the Tiger's cage. Like, we can do any size commercial or industrial facility. We'd love to help you out at Parish Construction and Roofing. Parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Do business with someone you know. Parish Construction and Roofing. All right, y'all. A couple of segments to go. Monday shows are brought to you by Relief Windows. We'll knock out a break. When we come back, do want to give you a quick preview of that donor meeting over at the Governor's Mansion, which is set to start here in about half an hour from right now. And tell you what, there was one report that's floating out there today about a deal being done. I don't know that the source is super credible. There's actually not a lot of definition behind the report, but I do have a good sense and handle on what is going to be discussed at this meeting tonight, and hopefully we'll have the opportunity to have Dr. Wade Roos on AFR this week and have him here on the show with us to sort of explain all this for everyone, which the top 40 donors will learn tonight and on Wednesday. So we'll continue here on a Monday edition of AFR presented by Relief Windows.
After further review.
GLO, glowresources.com, glowresources.com. They are complete employer solutions. That's our friends over at Glow Resources. Remember, if you're looking to hire, if you need the right people and you're struggling to find those right people to make your business more efficient, Glow Resources can help. That's what they do. They help your business operate more efficiently by finding the right people. This is not temp staffing. They're finding you permanent solutions. And it doesn't matter if you're looking for skilled blue-collar labor or if you're looking for any type of office job, from an entry-level office assistant all the way up to the C-suite. Glow Resources can help. That's what they do. And they're not just local. If you go to glowresources.com/careers, you will see the gigantic variety of types of jobs and locations. New Roads, Splendora, Texas, Sanford, North Carolina, glowresources.com.
People think it's all about game day, but the real work happens in the off season, and we need a healthcare team that works as hard as we do.
At FML Health, our lay of the lake, we take care of LSU football year-round.
We trust the lake.
My name is Mike Krumholt, and I've been with First American Bank for 4 years. What makes First American Bank special is we're able to offer all the products and services that any other big bank can offer. What sets us apart is being able to give that small town feel that someone can pick up the phone and they can talk to someone or stop by the branch and get excellent customer service.
Who bears the standard? Who sets the bar? It's not those satisfied by low-hanging fruit or by taking it easy. No, the standard is set by the best of us, by those who work hard. Dig deeper. Give more. At Sunshine, we're proud to provide John Deere products that work hard for you, the standard bearers. Find the dealer nearest you at sunequip.com.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
I rolling along here on a Monday edition of AFR. We always appreciate Brandon and Adrian Holly, our great friends over at Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, shutters, and shades. Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. The meeting at the governor's mansion is going to take place today. It's a story we broke over at LouisianaSports.net with the top 40 donors being invited. It'll be the governor and Dr. Wade Roos, the LSU system president, who will make the presentation tonight. They're holding two meetings, Monday and Wednesday, just to give some of those folks the opportunity who might not be able to make it on one, make it to the other. I did reach out, by the way, to Dr. Roos and his office today about him coming on the show to discuss what they're going to be discussing at the governor's mansion. And he did give me a sort of a tentative verbal agreement, working out timing and schedules and all that stuff. Might be a little complicated, but we'll look forward to that. When we can. Listen, we over at LouisianaSports.net, I mean, we broke the story of this meeting taking place. So naturally, I feel like I have a pretty good sense on what is going to be discussed. There was a report today from something called Red Eye, saying that LSU has closed a deal with private equity. Here's what I'm comfortable saying right now. And we'll all learn soon enough, is that LSU is not just doing a straight private equity deal. That's not, I will tell you definitively, that is not what this is. This is not just LSU giving up a percentage of LSU Athletics revenue in exchange for cash from a private equity firm. That is not what this is. Just a straight private equity deal. As we talked about when we broke the news of this meeting happening, obviously, there is going to be a cash infusion. It's it's quite literally the thing you're looking to do. You need money. So how do you acquire money and then generate many different levels of recurring revenue over in perpetuity? That's all where, if you were here when we talked about it then, the thing that I will tell you in the limited time that I've gotten to know Dr. Roos, that gives me as I'll tell you as an LSU alum, I'll speak as Matt, the LSU alum, who wants great things from my alma mater. And then obviously the guy who hosts the show, who there's an entire economy built around LSU athletics, of which I'm a part. We're like, if they're good, my business is good. And many of you can relate. Like, I want them to win. But I will tell you that Dr. Roos is a really smart man. The way I've said it to anyone that's asked is there are a lot of people that will underestimate him because he sounds like he's from Cutoff, and that would be a gigantic mistake because that is a brilliant dude. The dozen to 15 times that Dr. Roos and I have had the opportunity to talk, and usually it's we're at the NIL event or the Our Lady Lake Big Bash, or some at a baseball game. At Wade Will Wade's introductory press conference, the different time at the Our Lady of the Lake Christmas party. We've crossed paths and had a chance to speak from time to time. And what I'll tell you is this is a guy who, when you look into his background, he also, this was a great soundbite. Can you play this, Muse? This was on, so Michael Hackett does the Alligator Shoes podcast. If you've never listened to it, I recommend it. He just talks to influencers and leaders around Baton Rouge about great things they're doing in Baton Rouge. And so he had Dr. Roos on. This was back in June. And Dr. Roos talked about why. Now look, he is a university system leader. He's not an athletics leader. He runs the LSU system. But this is what he explained why it's so important for LSU athletics to succeed.
When you look at the enterprise that the president's over, once we get UNO into the system, it's about $3.8 billion. Athletics is about $250 million. But it's the loudest $250 million. It's the part everybody sees. But it's a very small portion of the total expenditures of the LSU system. But why is it so important? For exactly what I just said. It's the loudest $250 million of the portfolio. And it truly drives the brand. I keep saying over and over that, hey, why do we need to win a national championship in Tiger Stadium? Because everywhere you go with an LSU shirt on, people will say, go Tigers. And what does that do? That allows us to attract a young lady from New Jersey who loves college football or knows about LSU, comes here, has a life-changing higher educational experience, goes to med school, marries a Boudreaux, and stays.
Right. He's got a lot of passion for LSU, for the state of Louisiana, and I'm going to be really fascinated to hear a full explanation of what they have planning, because if you're not familiar with Dr. Roos's background, he is not a career academician. He began his career in finance, and he worked in private equity and battled the Fed so long that the Federal Reserve in Chicago ultimately hired him. So he's worked on both sides of it, and then sort of in the second phase of his career went into academia and started at the bottom as a professor, and then worked his up to tenure, and then into administration, and now we know went back to McNeese and home to Louisiana at McNeese, and where he played college football, and now is at LSU. But in any event, he is a really smart guy who is a finance guy by trade in his background, and from my understanding is this is a very creative way that they have structured what they're planning to do. That is the first of its kind, as the statement from Matt Borman said, a month ago or whenever it was that they released that email. And my sense of it is, and I could be wrong, but I have produced content for this audience every day at scale since 2007. This is my 20th football season that I will be working on this beat. And overwhelmingly, I think most people care to the degree that it affects, in this the sports audience, right? Care to the degree that it affects LSU's ability to win and lose. So as to say, and I know I'm oversimplifying it, but if coming out of this meeting, the consensus is this is going to help LSU continue to remain nationally relevant and win at a championship level in perpetuity, hot damn, sign me up. I think that's going to be the overwhelming response. But there are also, I think, a group of very conscientious folks that want to know how this thing is going to be structured. And we should get that answer. If stuff leaks out of this meeting tonight, or if we wait till we're fortunate enough to have Dr. Roos come on the show and explain it himself, which I certainly look forward to, I'm looking forward to having that conversation. So when we know more, we'll tell you. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. Locations all over South Louisiana. Name brand tires at wholesale prices, and they keep you coming back because they treat you like family. Man, you blew a tire, or you're just noticing it's becoming a little threadbare there, and you need some more tread on those tires, make sure you go to Shaw Bills. Go to the website. You can shop tires by year, make, model, body style, price, find tires. You want to see all their specials. There's a promotions tab right at the top. If you go to ShawBillsTire.com, you do it now. Go to ShawBillsTire.com, hit the promotions tab there at the top of the page. You'll see the drop down. It'll show you every promotion they have in detail on how you can save on the best tires on the road. The best tires at the cheapest price. That's Shaw Bills, and they treat you like family. ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. ShawBills, we keep you rolling. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. Been a really good Monday show. AFR On Demand presented by Breck Golf. If you missed anything, we talked a little bit about Sam Levitt in hour number 1. Joe Doyle was here last hour from Overslot Baseball. Little peek behind the curtain on Logan Schmidt. You heard Ross Jackson with a Saints camp report where we reacted to Jalen Polk's surprise retirement. If you missed anything, AFR On Demand presented by Breck Golf. Book your tee time at golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org. And, of course, you can get a podcast, YouTube, anywhere if you want to watch or listen. We appreciate it. All right, final break of the show. We'll come back. Jimmy will be here for Otter Locks. I'm going to bounce because I have to get to an event over at Supper Club. Muse will handle Otter Locks. Welcome back, Otter. Welcome back, Otter. Welcome back, Otter. That's next on AFR.
AFR.
REV, RevFiber.com, RevFiber.com. You want to get things moving? Fiber helps get things moving. You want lightning fast internet speeds? RevFiber gets things moving. RevFiber.com, RevFiber.com. For your home or for your business, I know I've told you before, but at the Moscona household, we are Rev customers. They laid fiber in our neighborhood 6-8 months ago, something like that. As soon as they did, boom, we switched. You know what? Because the fiber is buried underground, you don't have to worry about tree limbs or high winds knocking your power and your cable out. You stay online. But it's not just for your home, for your business too. If you're a business owner, you want to save each month on security, automation, cable, internet, phone. You could do it all with one great local company that served our community for 90 years. It's Rev, proud partner of LSU Athletics. RevFiber.com, RevFiber.com.
Ever wonder why cane sauce doesn't come in a pre-sealed packet? It's because it's made fresh inside every Raising Cane's every single day. Because when you make it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Community sailing is all about getting people in the New Orleans area out on boats, out on Lake Pontchartrain. Gulf Coast Bank helps us provide opportunities to get folks out who might not otherwise have the financial means to come sailing. Auctions in August is an online fundraiser that helps nonprofits like us service the community. Bidding through Auctions in August is a lot of fun because there's so many different items. There's something for everyone, so you're sure to find something that relates directly to you that you'll enjoy bidding on, and you get to help out the community.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Look, back pain can sideline you from the things you love. That's why I trust Dr. Kevin McCarthy and the team at the Spine Center of Louisiana. Dr. McCarthy doesn't just treat symptoms. He gets to the root of the problem. From advanced injection therapy to minimally invasive surgery, they've got the expertise to get you back in the game. With 5 locations across Louisiana, including right here in Baton Rouge, quality care is close to home. Call the Spine Center of Louisiana.
Love telling you about our friends at River Parish Contractors. Do amazing work and have for years. At River Parish Contractors, execution is more than just completing the project. It's delivering safe, predictable results through experienced leadership, skilled craftsmanship, disciplined project management. Today, River Parish Contractors is a full-service industrial construction company with more than 500 employees, dedicated estimating, project management, safety, quality organizations in a 32,000 square foot automated pipe and structural steel fabrication facility. It's incredible. Their capabilities for maintenance, turnarounds, capital projects, civil construction, pipe fabrication, structural steel fabrication. They do it all. They do it better than anyone. It's River Parish Contractors. rpcontractors.com. rpcontractors.com.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
All right, wrapping up hour number 3 here of AFR on this Monday, presented by Relief Windows. There's only one thing left to do, and it's been a while, but we welcome back Jimmy Ott for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Otter, how was Del Mar?
But Del Mar is great. Is that a trick question? Come on.
I mean,
it is good. But glad to be back. Glad to be back. And just missed you guys, man. You know, a little bit of void. You know, just I was out there every day about approaching 3 o'clock. You know, watching the sun go down a little bit somewhere and itching. I said, I got to give picks to somebody. They're like, we don't want your horse picks. You don't know what you're talking about. So anyway, and you, I got to take a exception with you when you fill it in for Matt. And I was like, hey, we're taking the Red Sox tonight. You know, look, man, they're playing better ball right now. Oh, stop, Otter, stop. Who's hotter than the Red Sox, huh? Capped off with a sweep in Chavez Ravine. Come on.
Nobody's hotter, Otter. 28-5 since June 25th. Otter, get your future ticket now because they're winning the World Series come October. It's what's going to happen.
My buddy Chris Macero and I have a 30-1 ticket on them to win the American League.
Let's go.
Yeah,
let's go.
That is no longer available, but they were getting hot, and we knew they had a shot to get the American League. And look, who's unbeatable in the American League? People in New York right now are going crazy that the Red Sox picked up Adley Rutschman and not them. Say what you want about Rutschman. You got him just back-to-back playoff appearances. He was great, captain, all-star, home run, derby contest, the whole thing, team leader. And, man, but his numbers since he got hurt has declined, and now maybe some inklings that he – but still, it's such a weak link with the Yankees with the catcher. And here's a guy that would have made their team better, period. And they let their rival, the Red Sox, got a shot at the division, man. I mean, they're playing – they're just that good right now.
5
and
games.
8th and 9th, Whitlock and Chapman, I mean, it's lights out. So they're really – that was impressive, man, even to cap it off what they did in Chavez Ravine. Talking about a hot team right now, let's get to our first pick, 7 o'clock first pitch in Houston. The local team, Houston has won 11 of 12. Got something to do with their shortstop, Pena, coming back. So borderline all-star, but, you know, the MVP of the ALCS, MVP of the World Series. And Pena, we know about Yordan Alvarez. He's been doing it all year. Triple crown leader right now. 1 in runs, 1 in RBIs, 1 in home runs, batting average. So we like Houston minus a modest price, minus 128 against the Blue Jays at home. 1 game underway. We put it out on the website. 1 in the top of the first. Phillies batting in the bottom of the first. Washington Philly over 9. Yes, even with the Pirates, number 2 scoring team. Dodgers are down to 3rd right now. Number 1 scoring team in Major League Baseball. That's just the Washington Nationals. Go back to a familiar pick. They're still cashing tickets. We'll take them tonight. And you probably still get the same number
9.5.
about now.
9.5 is what I'm looking at now. So, yeah, just about.
Yeah. All right. San Francisco minus 110. They have not had a good year this year. That is obvious. But, man, I love a good pitcher. And, man, Logan Webb has been lights out as of late. Minus 1 afternoon game where gave up a bunch of, bloopers and infield singles and then a home run that cleared the bases. So that kind of makes his ERA a little bit misleading. That one kind of goofy inning. He's been the nuts after that. So we're taking Logan Webb against Texas. Quantrill is very average, but Texas coming off of getting swept at Houston. We're going to take San Francisco at a pick'em. And then I just got back from San Diego and went to one of the Padres games, and Padres have been playing good ball as of late. They've won 8 of 9, but it's all against really bad teams. at Arizona tonight. We're going to take an improving pitcher, Brandon Pfaadt, against Michael King. So Arizona at a little small plus price there. 4 picks for you tonight, Moose.
Astros, Nationals, Phillies, the over. Still like it at 9.5. The Giants, Otter, the Giants are all the way at plus 112 now.
Very
so you're
good.
getting even better price there. And then the Arizona Diamondbacks. Otter, where are you tomorrow?
Ridozzi Place on Government Street in the heart of Mid-City.
It's good to be back with Hanny, isn't it, Otter? It's
Yes,
just
it is.
It's good to be back, huh?
It is. I miss my wife.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Y'all go check out the guys live at lunch tomorrow. Doe's Eat Place, of course, 11 to 1 here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Otter, good luck, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right, we'll see you.
All right, that is Jimmy Ott. That's just about going to do it here for us on After Further Review. Relief Windows, title sponsor of the Monday show. Great show, actually, here today, man. It was jam-packed from Jalen Polk retiring in the New Orleans Saints to LSU, Sam Levitt, wide receivers, going to work out in Dallas, Texas over the weekend. Obviously, Logan Schmidt, which, I mean, Lord, if I had more than 1 minute right now, I'd freaking gush about that, too. That's just, it's on. Like, it's on now. They went and just completely dominated the college baseball offseason to Jay Johnson and his staff. And 2027, it's back. It's back on there for that squad. Joe Doyle, thanks to him. Obviously, thanks to Ross Jackson for the camp report as well. You missed anything from today's show, and as we said, there was a lot. Of course, you can get it on demand. Presented by Breck Golf. Book your tee time today, golf.breck.org. They bring you After Further Review on demand, YouTube, podcast, wherever you get it. You can find AFR there. That's just about going to do it. Musso taking you home here as Scone had to jet out. He'll be back, obviously, at 3 o'clock, and we hope to have you with us as well. See you then.
AFR.
Summer is here, which means beach vacations, barbecues, backyard pool days, whatever you got going on. Make sure you celebrate with our friends at Rouse's, no matter what you're looking for. Meat or fish to throw on the grill. Maybe you want some cold drinks for the adults or the kids. Chips and dips and all the servings and sides. Rouse's is your spot with 76 locations from Lake Charles to Orange Beach and points in between. You're never far from a Rouse's location. And one of the things I love most is Rouse's always does their best to make sure they source local products. You want local Louisiana products and ingredients, you'll get them at Rouse's. Whether you're making groceries, a quick stop to pick up something for dinner, or a day at the pool, make sure you make Rouse's part of your summer every day. Find the Rouse's nearest you. You can shop the weekly ads online at rouses.com, rouses.com. Rouse's, this feels like home.
At Parrish, we take pride in building roofs that last, because in Louisiana, toughness isn't just on the court, it's in your home too.
Parrish Construction and Roofing. ParrishBuilt.com.
At Parrish, we take pride in building roofs that last, because championships are built on commitment, not just on the floor or the court, but your home too.
Parrish Construction and Roofing. ParrishBuilt.com.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
People think it's all about game day.
Let's go!
But the real work happens in the off season. Spring practices, early lifts, extra reps. And we need a healthcare team that works as hard as we do.
At FMOL Health, our Lay of the Lake, we take care of LSU football year-round.
So we can do what we do best. We trust the lake.
From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Savor game day platters and snacks, plus drink specials at 1717 Kitchen and Cocktail. So come out for game day and let our team make you the MVP. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.